This is at the 4th with CT Pan.
That's a 6-iron. Time to settle down and make a good swing.
Okay, this is a tough one. This 4th hole. Not surrendering many birdies, though. We saw Rosie make a long putt. Oh, but the 5th.
Let's check the rhythm on this one for Hubbard.
Just seems to be swiping across it a little bit.
He did, yeah, did a little there. I agree. No problems. Now, Justin Rose, after that beautiful second, has this for his birdie. We'll be saying this a lot. This for the outright lead. Everyone's missed that right. Up to 18.
Well, here's an impressive looking debut. Ludwig Aberg for Eagle.
Yeah, he has been cleaning up in the college world and now turns pro, and this is a great start for him. Birdied 16 and 17. He's tied for 27th. He's got that short putt for another birdie at 18. Kid has got a ton of potential.
You can see it. Past winner of the Jack Nicklaus Award for the top collegiate player. We're at the 5th.
Rose tapped in up ahead. Leaning like it's going right. Well, it's a long way down, but it's in the thick stuff. At the 9th.
Here's Hatton. After a double at the 8th. See how he backs it up.
Really well. Really well.
Keep turning.
Gosh, off of the downslope too. That was great contact and spin control there.
To 6.
Nick Taylor here at the uphill par 4. Par 5 for the members. That's one of the reasons this is the hardest hole on the golf course. Small green. Oh, but a chance for just the 3rd birdie here today. To 4.
Here's Fleetwood.
That was nicely done. It was all carry up and over the plateau, and at least give himself some sort of chance, Jim.
Would have been looking for a bit more release there.
Let's take a look at the FedEx file on Tommy Fleetwood. This is his 119th PGA Tour start. Time topped 3 7 times. 4 of them seconds. Young lad out of Southport, England.
This is 4th time in the last pairing on the PGA Tour.
At 6.
The second shot for Andrew Novak. That's not too bad. Didn't quite get into the thick stuff. He's won on the Corn Ferry Tour. Not quite yet on the big tour. 5.
Well, the lie's not too bad down there. Tracer by Trackman shows us he's hit it for the center of the green, and not bad from the rough. 125 ball speed there. Rory hit it a long way down, 327 yards from the tee, but it's really just a chop out from this length rough.
He's got to be careful with the false front here. Coming out of the rough, so difficult to control the distance. Don't want to go long either, because then you're chipping downhill. And not the biggest of targets. Yeah, and this is going to be tricky.
Lots of false fronts here. That's always a good way to get a little more stability in the face when you're in the thick rough. Just go down the shaft a little bit. He's about an inch down.
Oh, sounded thick.
And it was. More than likely in that front bunker, or maybe between the two as we go to 4.
And CT.
Up and over that rise there. This looks handsome for pace.
Yes, it sure does.
You see that follow through?
Yeah, it's long, isn't it? Like a full swing.
That's what you call a full release.
To 6.
Just off the back, Novak. Of course, all the big news today. Different Novak. That was Djokovic, 23 major championships. One of the great sporting achievements.
What a legend he is.
And we go to one of the great new talents, 18.
Aberg for birdie out of Texas Tech. And again, just named the Nicholas Award winner last week. Was not able to attend because of the NCAAs, but Jack sent a video to him. And, you know, that's an award that's been won by the likes of Rahm and Sam Burns and Patrick Cantley and Justin Thomas. Let's go back to 4. Fleetwood for par.
Look out.
There it is.
How about that save? Rough, bunker, 1 putt, 4.
It's the kind of stuff you need if you want to win on a Sunday.
Back to 6.
Man that shot 63 yesterday, Canadian Nick Taylor. What a start. 3 under through his first 6 today. Makes him 12 under his last 24 holes. Would you say the last Canadian was to win? Pat Fletcher? Look out, to 5.
All the way back in 1954. English-born Canadian citizen Pat Fletcher. Pretty thick rough here for Rory. You can't see his shoes, as you are noticing there. This rough cut at the start of the week at 4 inches. Some areas a little thicker than others. Just slash it out, open face lob wedge. Not the start he was after with a 2-shot deficit. When he was walking back, goes, that's how deep this rough is. He came back. Harry had to point it out where the ball was. Oh, there it is.
Last thing you want to do is step on it.
Pretty good indication, though, Trev, isn't it, how thick the rough is?
It is. It's brutal out there. You need to hit it straight here. Accuracy is absolutely rewarded, especially coming into these small undulating greens.
Just too much pace there from Novak. Hails from Riley, North Carolina. Hill mark, we go to 10. Short par 4. This is it's a composite golf course. So you watch Hatton second, play down to the bottom of the hill. Hit it across the creek.
Watch this.
Yeah, that's the backstop. So Tyrrell has put his hat back on, and a chance for yet another birdie. He needs plenty of them, but at the moment it's all Canada.
Mark Hubbard trying to size up this putt. Up the slope, 32 feet he'll need to cover, and a chance to grab a share of the lead. He is another one of the players on the first page without a win on the PGA Tour. Started the day at 12 under, had a nice grinded out save for par at the opening hole, birdied the 3rd to get within a shot. Now Nick Taylor has moved to 14 under, is to join him. Short. And so Hubbard will have, it looks like, about 4 feet to make sure he has par. 1 under for the week at 5 is Tommy Fleetwood. And Fleetwood, this will work down the left side of the fairway. 2 birdies and a bogey today. And briefly move to the top of the leaderboard with that 14 under score. Now Rory absolutely cannot give one up and feel like he's doing what it takes to win this Open once again. He just miscalculated what it would do out of that thicker rough, so he's put himself in a tough spot. 196 yards uphill at 6. And Justin Rose, he'll have some work left, but in a decent spot. We get to the tee at 5, CT pad. already watched one player leak a little bit to the right. This one will be just fine. And so Pan, after dropping a shot at 3 in the fairway at 5. And Rory will surrender a shot. So McIlroy drops one. He is back to 11 under. Now this putt across the green, left to right, but just above the cup.
Aaron Rai playing his 3rd shot at the par 5 7th.
Oh, creep up there and he's got to be careful here. You see him running? That ball with about another inch was going to be down back at his feet.
Very smart. Back to 5.
Well done. Firm in the cup. 1 under through 5 for Hubbard. 1 back of Nick Taylor. 5-way tie for second.
Now we saw the long iron approach here by Justin Rose. Take 2 from here. Well, nearly stole one too. That's an excellent lag putt. Green's about 10.5 on the stimp meter because of all the undulations. Pop forward, 7.
Okay, after running up the market, now he can get out of here with a tie for the lead if he holds it. Aaron, one of 3 Englishmen right now on the first page of the leaderboard with Justin Rose and Tommy Fleetwood. Let's go back to 5.
Fleetwood second.
That was with 9-iron hanging a little right.
Just a little short right, Mark. 11 birdies in his last 18 holes. And this is the reason why. Let's check out the putts for Tommy Fleetwood at the first. Love that left finger down the shaft. That gives him a little more face stability as he holds his angle on the way through. A little sore with the right hand here at the second.
Speed control has been great, hasn't it?
Awesome. And I believe, Trevor, that the Europeans, as we watch Tommy at 4, may be a little better at the slower greens.
That is a great point there, Ian. He's second for the week in strokes gained putting.
And he's made 50 feet of putts already today. Now CT.
10 yards closer. 1 less iron. That's 8-iron, just caressing it in there.
Will it stay just up at 10?
Chance for a birdie for Hatton. Saw that wedge shot spin back. So he birdies the first hole of the Knudsen 9. This is a composite golf course. 27 holes. They're using just the 18. Just that 1 blemish at 8. Now to 6. Mark Hubbard. He's won in Canada 10 years ago. That was on the PGA Tour Canada. It was at the Wildfire Golf Club. That's, according to MapQuest, about 113 miles away. Good tee shot there from Hubbard.
You would definitely get lost driving from here to there, Frank.
Shoebox. I would get lost as we go to 7.
Okay, this big shot in some ways. He leads by 1, attacking a par 5. So off to this hot start with 3 birdies already. Nick Taylor.
That'll be okay there. Believe it stayed out of the bunker. That is quite a deep bunker, so not a bad spot.
To 6.
What's lost, not lost on me, is how good that golf swing is. How you can send it that far, that easily.
Well, the FedEx Cup summary season finish after his Canadian Open wins. Well, guess what? They led to eventually winning the FedEx Cup.
That's a cool nugget.
Months later. Very good nugget. John Rahm leads it. in the season standings. Scotty Scheffler second and Max Homa third as we head to the U.S. Open next week at LA Country Club. Let's go to 14.
Grayson Sigg on the tee.
SIGs in Canada are actually known as darts, Amanda. Trying to throw a dart here at 14.
Can he do it?
Oh, yes, he can.
Yes, he does. Coming off 6 missed cuts in his last 7 starts, making it into the weekend could do something for him.
Well, he's tried to keep it under the hole by playing a little left there.
He was just a step off the green, and the ball was way down in this lush rough.
Kind of like a US Open rough, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Feels like a US Open right now.
We just spoke about how good his putting has been. He's going to need to make another one here.
Just that length, like back at the first couple of holes. Looking for his first victory on the PGA Tour. Obviously won many times on the European Tour. Consistently ranked up around the top 20 in the world. '51st in the FedEx Cup. Here's Tommy Fleetwood. CT Pan, he really needs this week 143rd in the FedEx Cup in this late stages.
You get the sense really for this couple that things are beginning to slow down just a little bit. Of course, Tommy got off to the fast start, but CT was essentially against the ropes. But now the tee shot in the fairway, second on the green. You can almost take a breath for the first time in the final round for Pan.
Yes, I'm sure there'll be many more juxtapositions with these leading 7 or 8 players over the next 12 holes or so. So many in with a chance.
That was a misstrike there. That ball got to bubbling really early.
Now back at 7. Here's Taylor, our leader, playing his third.
Oh, it came out nicely.
Okay. He's got that putt from maybe 3 feet for a 2-shot lead. Let's go to the 8th.
And Aaron Rai at 13 under, 1 back. His second at the 8th, just 130. Just a gap wedge. And certainly one of the birdie holes here. Brilliant shot. Now Fleetwood for par. Can he keep those putting stats up high, leading this week? Yes, he can.
He brought his putter to play today, Tommy.
Second shot now at 6 for Hubbard. Uphill, plays about a club uphill. And a false front. So you've got to fly it at least 7 or 8 yards onto this green.
Definitely fighting the swing, isn't he, Frank?
He is a little. It's unusual too, because he's a great iron player.
Club face is just hanging open for him coming down into impact.
Well, let's go to the penalty box at 14.
Okay, second closest to the hole today, Grayson Sigg at 5-4 left for his birdie.
What a coincidence. It also says that in his PGA Tour bio.
That was rude, Colt. That was really rude.
One of the only guys that actually looks up to me out here.
Oh, just burns that right edge. Not going to be happy with that one. Sigg walks away with par. Closest to the pin today so far, Sam Bennett, 3 feet 4 inches. Over to 6.
Rory, got a little bit of view from here, but still uphill. Not trying to fight the lie, let it draw off that. So, this club maybe. Tricky little shot coming up.
Maybe a little high on the face coming from that longer cut.
CT for his par now. Well done.
Brandon Wu, 10 under par. At the 9th, 193 yards. And we've seen a few players have to sort out that second shot after a poor play off the tee. Bunker has definitely been a popular spot on the left side with the pin cut to the right. And he was trying to get a little action off the left side. And that one just comes to a stop. So Wu will have a much longer play than he had hoped. Lee Hodges, 6 under. And Hodges as he works the finishing hole. Tried to get enough out of that to get it close to the green, but you can see the sloping. It just slides off of that shelf. He had 259 yards coming in and still has a wedge in. The 9th for Bird. He's at 9 under. Bird looking at a chance to see if he can claw his way back into the top 10. A chance at a birdie here. That would be his first on the front side. He missed out on birdie at the par 5 7th. Young at 4 under. Coming into 18, he will find that greenside bunker. And so with that, he'll have a chance to get up and down for birdie. Young, couple of bogeys landing on his card at 15 and 17, so he's lost a couple of shots. Now, Wu across the green, this at 9. And it runs out of speed. You're looking at a play down that slope, and you expect it to continue with a bit of pace, and that was from 30 feet away. So he will tap in for par and turn him 1 under. Nick Taylor has taken it to 15 under par. Right on his heels as he is a shot back. Rose and Fleetwood, 2 Englishmen in that group at 13 under.
Rory currently 3 shots behind Nick Taylor. This is the toughest stretch of the golf course. Starts to open up after this, so that par putt very important upcoming. To 7.
And Novak has this for birdie.
Here's this ridge right here. Starts to get really quick.
Oh, yeah.
Nice bounce back after the bogey at 6.
We're at 6.
From the right side of this green now is Hubbard. Currently.
Grip it in there.
She came out very good. Well played. Just kept the club moving. The lie was better. 7.
Nick Taylor for birdie, and that's a 2-shot lead. He opened on Thursday with 75 and has come storming back with 67, 63, and 4 under through 7 today. And let's go to the 6th.
And McIlroy will drop further adrift, so his chance of winning 3 consecutive Canadian Opens.
And 5 behind now.
Nick Taylor, what a storm he is on. Jim referenced the 75. As we get to 8.
And Aaron Rai for a chance to get 1 closer to the lead of Nick Taylor's. And that is the 3rd time this week that Rai's birdied the 8th hole. He moves to 14 under. Looking for his first PGA Tour victory. Could it be a National Open? Here's Hubbard.
Should just break a little left.
Watch the follow through here. Much like his swing, he kind of pulls across it. Club goes to his left. There.
Almost helps it on his way, didn't it?
Yeah.
That's a really good start. 1 under through his first 6. So, but at the moment, Nick Taylor trying to win his 3rd title on the PGA Tour. He leads.
So Taylor to 15 under, Rose 2 back, 2nd into 7. Trying to be aggressive, knowing that he needs to take advantage of these par 5s. 265 yards, and that will find that greenside bunker. And so Rose, definitely a chance to manage that, get up and down, and move 1 closer. He's right now 1 under in the round. Move back out into the fairway, his final group. Looks like Pan piecing together his game plan. 191 yards. Just trying to make sure that he has what he wants in his hand. That pin is all the way to the back, and you can see with that low spot in the fairway elevated to the playing surface up above, changes the yardage a bit. But they've committed to this number. 478 yards, big par 4. And that is safely on the right side. Then Pan will have a downhill play to see if he can pick up a shot. That would move him back to 14 under if he could make it. And that's what you're looking for. Fleetwood, almost identical number. Off the tee and remaining into the screen. And Fleetwood, we'll see if he can get closer. And on the right side, both Tommy Fleetwood and CT Pan getting close to the flag. But right now, both will have birdie tries from outside of 30 feet coming up. Downhill play. Ted Potter Jr. just missing. That at 14, and he'll be looking at par on the other side.
Aaron Rai second alone right now. One behind Nick Taylor.
Much like 7, this whole location in the front portion on a little plateau. Oh, and that's a favorable bounce right there. So he's going to have another good look.
Our leader is at the 8th.
And in perfect position.
And is going with just a baby pitching wedge, trying to scrub some spin off this.
Oh, he was trying to take a little bit off it and a yard too far.
That will be ticklish for Taylor, who made a great up and down after being along at the first hole out of some thick rough. But then at 2, he dropped the birdie. Began the stretch of alternating pars and birdies. Here he is at 4 for another one. Born in British Columbia, Abbotsford.
Not just the speed control, but the reads just on point.
At 7, right here in 2 on the par 5.
He's made 70 feet of putts already.
He would knock that one in to increase his lead to 2. Then Rai shortly thereafter made a birdie to trim it to 1. Let's go out to the 8th.
And Andrew Novak with his second from the rough tried to go at the green. Very difficult green to hit here. Almost impossible. Huge slope going from the back left down to the front right.
And it's very shallow, isn't it?
Very shallow. Just about 20 feet deep. Here's Rose.
At the 7th, playing his 3rd in this bunker near the green.
Sounded just a little heavy, but got away with it.
He knocks that in. He'll be tied second, 1 back. Actually, Rai can join Taylor at the top here at the 9th for birdie. It's a good looking putt. A lot of slope on these greens. You'll see it all the way home to the 18th. We're back at the 8th.
So hard to hit it hard enough, and yet only hit it 1 yard to roll it down the hill. Hasn't had a bogey for about 28 holes, Mark. He's going to have to work hard here.
He is, but he has got the lion's share of the crowd support. Throngs of folks around here, and they sang "Oh Canada" when he arrived.
We might hear a lot more of that as he approaches every green all the way home. And here's Corey Connors, another Canadian for birdie.
Yeah, he got off to a really rough start. But he's got a 2 at the 9th to get 1 back. Out in 38.
Second 9 plays much easier here on this composite setup. He's going to have to get going.
Over to 8.
And Novak, well, outside chance of a 2-shot swing here. Long range birdie attempt.
He would happily take 2 from this angle, though. Uphill, big break from the right.
Tough green, Mark, isn't it?
Golly, and it's the size of a dime.
Rory made mention earlier in the week that he thought it was like the 10th at Riviera. Really hard green to read, difficult to hit even with just a wedge.
Yeah, interesting comparison that as we watch CT Pan here for a birdie. Not too bad. 4 is always good at 6. That back 9, lots of opportunities. To 8.
Yeah, he'll be putting a lot of effort into this one. Uses a little aim point express, trying to feel the break in the green, the slope of the green in his feet. See a lot of players doing that.
And Ian, you know how hard it is to try and win at home, your own National Open.
Yeah, it's always a lot more stress. And we make it harder and harder every year. Pat Fletcher, the last one back in '54. Look at that move from 120th in round 1. With that 75 Jimmy referenced earlier. Yeah, I know I had 3 seconds in the Australian Open. It's the only tournament in my career that I really wished I'd won, and managed to choke my way out of it a couple of times. Very difficult.
He just has to barely start this one down the hill.
Yes, sir.
That's 9 putts in his first 8 holes.
Little hockey mentality there. That was gutsy. At 7.
And Rose for birdie. One back. Already a winner this season at the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. To 6.
See if Fleetwood can make a move now. It's got a bit of a swing from the top side. Of course, a Ryder Cup year. He was part of that great duo, Francesco Molinari and Fleetwood. They were 4-0 that year. And that was in Paris. This year it's in Rome. But right now, Toronto, Lake Ontario. They love their golf in Canada.
Now, Carl Yuan, 9 under this for birdie. This will have to come from the back portion. Trying to keep it on that line, just falls below. Yuan, who was our 36-hole leader, first time for him at the top of the leaderboard after any round, and he'll tap in for par here. 3 birdies, 2 bogeys on the front. He is 2 under right now. 18 for Shane Lowry. This one heading on a good line to the cup. That'll be a tap-in birdie for Lowry to finish up at 4 under. The Irishman didn't get as much out of the weekend as he was hoping, but still trying to ramp things up going forward this summer. The Englishman missing left here at 14. Fitzpatrick looking at about 3.5 feet on the other side of the cup. Heading to LA Country Club. He won the United States Open last year. We'll be back to defend, but a different venue. Taylor Pendrith looking for this to move, and it is not. It is staying well below the cup. So the distance spot on, but just clearly missed the line. He was seeing some influence from the front of the green that would push that towards that cup, and it never really cooperated. So Pendrith, one of the Canadians that was able to make the cut and has represented well for the country of Canada. Those that were able to make it through after the cut, quite a number of Canadians faring well this go around. Taylor Pendrith wrapping up his day. Pendrith in, and he will settle for a 5 at the last. Couple tough holes coming in. You see those 6s at 13 and 15, and it was his undoing. No question he had moved it to 2 under on the back 9, trying to clean up the card. But in the end, 13 ranking as the 6th most challenging hole on the course and almost equally as tough the 15th, and it was costly.
We are back at the 8th with Andrew Novak trying to save his par. It'd be a good 2-putt. Kind of jumped off the putter there. That's his best stat on tour is putting. He thought he'd hold it. Drops back to 12 though. In a tie with Eric Cole and Tyrrell Hatton. Here we are at 7.
Rory had to lay up at the par 5 7th. 2 over for the day. Needs to turn a switch right now. Easy. Okay, uphiller for birdie. To 9, and Nick Taylor, the leader by 1.
He has selected 8-iron, Jim. Very receptive hole location, and this looks like pure silk.
Oh, what a shot. The story is building here in Canada. Trying to do something that hasn't been done in 69 years. A Canadian trying to win the National Open here at the RBC Canadian Open. Let's go out to the rink at the 14th.
Well, you couldn't ask for a better welcome. They were all chanting, "We want Hadwin," and then, of course, serenaded him with their national anthem. And then he said, "Don't be quiet, guys, get loud." And they did exactly that, Colt.
And this is the event we first learned about Adam Hadwin back in 2011 on a sponsor exemption. Competed for the title. I believe he finished 4th. Oh, boy, he doesn't like this one. That might be known as the stink at the rink.
And we all know Canadians are really nice. That was the nicest boo I've ever heard. And I went, oh, over to 8.
Justin Rose on the tee of the 8th, just going with iron, get it in the fairway. Oh no, is this headed towards the water on the right? Remember, Tyrrell hit it down there. Oh, with an iron. I'm not sure if it's wet or if it's just in the deep stuff, but oh, really missed it. He's not sure. We'll get back there shortly as we head to 7.
And Hubbard has this for birdie. 30 feet. Got 29 feet of the way. Now this for the 2-shot lead. Start turning. Boy, that never moved.
Yeah, massive misread there.
He was a decorated amateur golfer. Went to the University of Washington, where he won 4 individual titles. Was the Pac-12 Conference Player of the Year for 2 years, 09 and 2010. And it was in 09 he was the #1 amateur in the world, which gave him the Mark McCormick Medal. For birdie. Rory can't buy one.
Just zero momentum so far today. Couple over, and there's some good scores out there with the wind down, green still receptive. Awful start.
So Taylor makes the turn 4 under, leads by 1. So much can happen on that second side. There are birdie opportunities. Much lower scoring average than the first 9. Let's go to the 8.
Yeah, and it's Justin Rose playing his 3rd, Jim. He didn't find that first ball, and they can't determine if it was in the hazard or not, so he has to play another. And he's gone with the drive a little bit more aggressive for the Olympic champion from Rio back in 2016. Now 10.
Aaron Rye, this is actually the easiest par 4 on the golf course. Just 372 yards. Go down a hill. Everybody's basically hitting just a sand iron in here. Tough to find a place to cut the hole because it's one of those old-fashioned greens, like an upside-down saucer. So.
Yeah, easy hole location because the guys can just throw it beyond and use that backstop, and it funnels down toward the cup.
was out in 33. The pace is good. Green's not overly quick. So there's lots of opportunities on this back 9. So it's going to have to keep the pedal down. Remains just 1 back. So, to 14.
Okay, back to Adam Hadwin. Leaves himself in that greenside bunker, Colt.
Dishing out a lot of apologies walking up the 14th. A lot of sorries.
Great shot, though, making his 12th RBC Canadian Open appearance.
No need to apologize for that one.
Absolutely not. Over to 10.
That's the hockey hole too. As we look here at 10, remember NHL started back in 1917 with 4 Canadian teams. That's where they love their hockey. It wasn't until 24, Boston Bruins, first American team was at it. Yeah, all starts here for Nick Taylor. 9 holes.
Frank, this teeing ground way above the fairway, wide fairway down there, and pretty routine tee shots.
Not a convincing swing. You don't have to hit it far down here. So well positioned there. You will certainly have just a short on here, perhaps a chance for another birdie.
13 under is Tommy Fleetwood. Fairway at 7. 1 under at this point. 265 yards. And it's up the right side. It doesn't look like it's a terrible lie. The stance may be just a bit awkward. Below the stance of Rose is the 4th here. And he is fighting right now on a short par 4. Rose making a bit of a mess of this hole right now. Tried to drive it up that left side and had to take the penalty shot. Now Pan at 7. And the lie below his feet, so definitely a slice lie that will fan out to the right side. Looks like both Pan and Fleetwood are on that right side. They'll be pitching onto this green. A fair amount of putting surface to work with. Now Higgs, as he plays his 3rd below our camera tower. Green running away from him, but a pretty good line. He still has a lot of work left to make sure he picks up the par. Rose is in a much tougher spot right now. At least Higgs has a chance to save his 4. But for Rose, it was 208 yards into the water and then had to take the penalty stroke. So McIlroy just hasn't seen a whole lot of success. Some of it is doing, others just not the best of breaks. Out of the bunker, the 5th for Rose. And there is a chance for a 6 now. And that will mean he will drop out of a share of 2nd. CT Pan.
I think same thing for that, but if you like the direct line and have a chance to go in 2 on the way past. Okay.
We'll get back to Pan. Now Jonathan Bird at 11. 208 yards. Bird at 10 under. He has had a nice move up the board. Looking for one of his best finishes so far this season. That's all the way to the back on the opposite side.
He's going to have to be very careful here, Jim, because of that false front edge. If he goes for the direct line and it just starts to break left on him, it could roll all the way down that hill there. So I think he's going to throw it out to the right and use that bank to try and get the ball to turn left.
It's headed that way.
Here we go. Well played.
Back to 8.
Yes, we saw that disaster unfolding in front of us with Justin Rose. Has this for double bogey. Tucks that shirt in under his left arm to stay connected, to try and get a feeling of everything moving away from the putter, from the ball altogether. It's a good thing to try and do. We'll do that every time. Well, it's a good save after the poor first shot off the tee, losing a ball with an iron. Drops back to 12, 3 back. As I mentioned, gold medal winner in Rio in 2016. The first gold medal in men's golf was 1904. Canadian George Lyon, as we head to the 7th.
And 1904 was the first year they ever had a Canadian Open. It was contested at Royal Montreal. Here's Tommy. Oh my goodness.
A little wishful there through impact. Needed much more speed.
See there the flag right in the middle of the green now. Andrew Novak.
And conditions cooling down just a touch as the breeze is kicking up and into him.
Stands really close to the ball.
Short, sharp swing with 9-iron.
It's going to work out nicely. He's played well on sort of short, tight golf courses this year. Sony, Valero Texas Open, Valspar, Honda.
They got mashed right.
7.
Now let's give this another go.
Got to get out of here with 5.
Almost a 4. So nothing lost. He's 2 back to Taylor, who's at 10.
Big opportunity.
Very big. Play about a half a club uphill. And that punch bowl effect there, where the whole location is cut, you can take it beyond with some spin.
Yep. Got to take the moose by the horns right now. Keep making birdies. Nick Taylor certainly in the driving seat at the moment.
Did you say moose by the horns?
I did.
Nice.
11.
Or antlers. Oh, Frank, you're a beauty. That's Aaron Wright at the par 3 11th.
Can you ride a moose?
You'd want to be pretty good to get up on top of a moose. They're about 8 foot tall. Over at 14.
Terrell Hatton has arrived to the tee alongside Harrison Endicott. Ian, a rookie from Australia.
Yeah, he'd be loving this. He would really love it. It's like a football crowd at home at the MCG.
A lot of players who played more than just golf growing up have said that they love this atmosphere for that exact reason. It makes them feel like they're a superstar in the sports that they love so much.
I agree. It's incredible.
Over to 7.
Pan for birdie. Oh, comes up short. Started the day 2 in front, now is 2 behind. Birdie free through 7. And we're back at 14.
Endicott on the tee now.
Amanda, I think it's time to pull the goalie. We need some action here.
The hockey references just won't stop today, but I think that's what's expected.
Hey, we're in Canada.
That's right.
It's got to pain the people of Canada that Florida is in the Stanley Cup Finals. All right, solid shot.
Absolutely. Endicott coming off 2 birdies in his last 4 holes, trying to make it 3 in his last 6. And listen, Terrell Hatton, I love how much of a fan favorite he has become, Colt.
I mean, you can see why. He talks like we do out there on the golf course.
And his consistency has just been unbelievable. Has missed just 1 cut all season, 5 top 10s, 9 top 25s.
And rocking a nice playoff beard. I'm telling you right now, this is my sneaky pick for the U.S. Open next week. He is a flusher.
This tracer brought to you by TrackMan.
Leaking a little bit right. He will not be thrilled with that.
But you know what? The fans were, and that's all we care about today, right?
They just want to bang on the boards.
Over to 10.
Andrew Novak. Slowish putt. Another roll. Just struggled a little with speed today. That's the 8th.
And that is Mark Hubbard at 282. Absolutely perfect, Frank. Get a good drive down there over the trees. Leave a little pitch like this. You see Rory up ahead. Spin. Back in that little left plateau.
That green seems to be a little firmer than the others. Remember, Taylor skipped through there as well.
Exactly. Many of the players have said it's one of the harder ones to hit, even with a short shot like that.
Now, chance to really show people what he can do with a stick.
Not too much break, Frank, and he's going to be licking his Canadian chops on this. This is a good look.
There you go. 12 putts through 10 holes. Come on, Canada, get right behind him. 2-shot lead as he heads to 11. I wasn't even born in 1954, so it's longer than I can remember. Our time a record was broken. Just ahead, 11.
And Aaron Wright, long-range birdie attempt here at the par 3. Aaron 2 back now at 14 under. So cautious down the hill. Little work left. How about 18 and Eric Cole?
He's 8 under for the day.
258 up the hill here.
Settle. Up and down. He would tie Taylor's course record of yesterday at 11.
And Aaron has just over 6 feet here for the par. And back down on the tee. Nick Taylor watching here, getting some good advice. David Markle, Nick's caddy, trying to figure out where the breeze is coming from. Another Canadian duo. Wright finished tied 13th in the Canadian Open last year in his first start up over at St George's, the great golf course not far away. Lots of good golf in the area. Toronto Golf Club, only 15 minutes away. One of the classics, maybe the best in the country. Great, well-known golf pro there, Doug Rankin at Toronto Golf Club, retiring this year. We'll miss you, Doug. All the years we got to see you over there. Qualified for the playoffs last year as a rookie, did Aaron Wright. Finished 93rd. Oh boy, drops back into a tie for second now at 13, and 3 back of Nick Taylor down below on the tee.
He suddenly got himself a 3-shot lead with 8 holes to play. Birdied half the holes today. Was 9 under yesterday. And you see Fletcher in 54 and Arnold Palmer in 55. That was Arnold Palmer's first professional win. It happened at Weston, where they have a name for the first hole there at Weston. Arnie's first. Let's get to 11.
And this would be a great feather in his cap to win here, having won the Canadian Amateur Championship as a 19-year-old back in '07. Nice duo.
Well, are we on throwbacks? This follow through got a little George Knudsen about it. That's a drawing 6-iron.
One of the best swingers in golf, George Knudsen, 8-time winner on the PGA Tour. Tied for most wins on the PGA Tour of any Canadian. He and Mike Weir with 8, and that is A nice bounce off the right side there. That's what they're trying to do. They don't want to go anywhere near the left side of this green. Back to 8. Oh, one he needed. He and Rye both missing good ones as we head to 18.
And Eric Cole playing his 3rd.
Got that ball way back in the stance, just trying to get it to this ridge, and then it can creep down there. If he makes a birdie here, he could jump into 2nd for the moment on his own.
At 8.
3 back now. Can he get this bounce right? And that's what happens if you come up short of the flag. Zips back down that steep bank. Just a little tabletop up in the back left as this continues to roll. That's how steep it is. We'll get to the fringe.
Here's Cole. This is for 63. Oh, what a wonderful putt. And a round of that matches what Nick Taylor fired yesterday. He closes Trevor with 4 consecutive birdies. 30 coming home.
Wow, started the day in a tie for 24th at 5 under. Remember, he had that 2nd place finish at the Honda Classic when he lost in the playoff. Another great week here.
And the son of Bobby Cole and Laura Baugh. We're at the 8th.
And Tommy Fleetwood 2nd. It's a beauty. In there inside 6 feet. And the way he's putting, he can get into 14 and 2 back. Over at 9.
Hubbard's at 13 under.
Well, there's that fade that he likes, so you should like this front right hole location. There you go.
Brendan Todd, fairway medal, 7 under par as he comes to the par 5. Todd looking at 255 yards. Cole finishing up with that run of 4 straight birdies coming in. Todd watches as his slips off into that primary rough just in front of that bunker. Now the 2nd for Sig. Looks like he drove it up the left side. A little bit of a tough spot to operate from, but still able to get plenty of carry, and it looks like he will go bunker to bunker. So Sig with 1 birdie on the back half. He's brought it back to 1 over par after a stretch of 3 consecutive bogeys. He's just been trying to fight back since then. A birdie at the last will even up the card for him. 16 under leads Taylor. Right now out in front by 2 shots. Eric Cole's 63 has been posted, and that certainly is a statement that he's making. He has tried to take advantage of the opportunities that's been afforded to him with either sponsor invites or finishing top 10 to move into the next full field event. But Cole right now has done so well this season. He's projecting in the top 30 in the FedEx Cup, and that's despite missing a number of cuts so far this season. When he has been able to make the weekend, he has tried to make the most of it, and that really is the key. With a total of 13 made cuts, Eric Cole has 10 missed cuts, yet he has 6 top 25s, and now he's looking for his 3rd top 10. Novak at 11, just trying to drip this one on and let it work. If it will keep working, top half of the green, you can see where it picks up a little bit of that speed. But just imagine from that distance, trying to figure out exactly how much or how aggressive you should be with the swing, and he clearly was offline.
Back live at the 11th, we saw Nick Taylor's shot in here take a nice little bounce to the left, and he's got this left for the birdie too. He's Very proud Canadian, has the maple leaf on his head cover.
I would call this a birdie attempt in name only. This one can get away from you fast with the overall pitch of the green from players right to left. Little sidewinder about it too. Breaks left early and then should straighten, perhaps eke right towards the end of the journey.
Hole location only 6 feet from yesterday's. There's not many spots on this green they can put the flag.
I would say, Ian, you try and move this about 3/4 of the distance. Gravity has the rest.
Oh, I like that grip. The left hand got the grip in his lifeline and the index finger down the grip.
Is this any good?
Exactly what Rory did, Trev.
Yeah, both misreading that second half of the putt, and there is a lot of work left there, and the pressure is building.
And the pressure's building on Pan because he's 2-putted every hole so far. He'd like to 2-putt from the fringe here, but he's left himself 7 or 8 feet. At 9.
Hubbard for birdie. Going to be a 1 under par side for Mark. Had 2 top 5s this season. Most recently, just a few weeks back, at the Charles Schwab Challenge there in Fort Worth. Bogey free.
69th in the FedEx Cup coming in. Big 9 holes for him to make a jump there.
At 8.
And a disappointing bogey for CT Pan. No one wants to challenge, do they?
Poor
got Cole
stroke
in the
there.
got Cole in the clubhouse with 63. He's 14 under, but Nick Taylor 2 in front of that as we head to 12, and Aaron Rai.
Yep, second shot at the par 5.
It's a nice looking swing here. Should be able to get it all the way back there. Oh yeah, this is nice. Alrighty, so an eagle attempt coming up.
And we're back at 8.
Can Fleetwood challenge? 6 feet. Yes, he can. The putting maestro, Tommy Fleetwood, from Hillside in Southport, England, adjacent to Royal Birkdale. Similar area to where we head for the Open Championship in July. Hoylake, Royal Liverpool, just an hour or so away. Lytham and St Anne's not far away as well. It's a great area for golf, like here in Toronto as we watch Nick Taylor now. Pretty similar grip here to the one when we watch Tommy.
So give you a feel for where his nerves are.
That stroke, Trev, was a little faster than the other ones I've seen.
Yeah, he had an early look as well, which usually means pull.
Yeah, and that's exactly what he did. Was aiming that right around that right edge and started it in the left half.
That's when you go to that grip where you get it in the lifeline of the left hand and the finger down the grip. You're trying to lead with the left. You're trying to stop that head from turning over, which causes the pull. Back to 15, first bogey of the day to go alongside the 5 birdies.
And when he was standing back on the tee, he had a 3-shot lead. Now, just 1.
Good chance to bounce back at the next. To 9.
And here is Fleetwood, playing 159 today.
So the work he's been putting in with Butch Harmon, trying to get a bigger hip turn on the way back, and then a smoother transition just to be able to hit this shot, a little fade. Spoke to Butch this morning. He said they've been working together 4 or 5 months.
Here's Nate Lashley, the 14th, 172 yards. Excellent lead just below the hole. Lashley with a chance to see if he could pick up his first birdie on the back 9. Fans loving that. He's alongside Doug Kim. Yuan downhill play at 17 for birdie. Not quite So Yuan, right now, he was trying to get it back to 9 under. He'll be playing for par.
So we're at the 12th.
With a few light raindrops now beginning to fall. That's been the MO the whole day. Takes that step in the practice swing. Just sequence stuff on the downswing.
Nice graphic there showing the kind of ball speed we've been seeing at 12 today. Okay, so interesting moment here as the 3-putt at 11 now misses the fairway at a par 5 where he could have reached in 2. Maybe tightening up just a little bit.
Well, who can blame him? That's the biggest battle of all. You know that, Trev. You won your National Open, the South African Open, twice, and this is the 20-year anniversary of the first time you won it. You were 23 years old, and you said this was something you'd always had dreamed of, was winning your nation's Open championship.
Yeah, absolutely. That year was actually contested in my hometown of Somerset West as well.
A little more pressure.
So I felt a lot of heat. It was a great relief and a moment I'll never forget when I was able to get across the line.
Here's Rye to tie the lead, an eagle putt. Okay, as you said a moment ago, it was just a short while ago a 3-shot lead, and now there are 3 players, only 1 behind. Fleetwood.
Just a 1-shot lead for Nick Taylor. Now back to 14 from a moment ago. Doug Kim, 103 feet in the air. This one will find the right side. A little deeper onto the green. So Kim looking at about 35 feet as he'll try and putt it back towards that front pin. Fitzpatrick, his hands co-joined, very tight grip. That one finger, the index finger, just helping guide it, trying to guide that one into the cup. And he's disappointed, thought he might have picked the perfect line. Instead, he just tapped that in. And so the last birdie for Fitzpatrick came at the 12th.
At 10.
Hubbard just trying to avoid that run out down the end, just short of 300. Except this one's got appeal to it.
Transition is way out of whack. Shaft is getting extremely steep in the early part of the downswing. Has to wipe across it from there.
It's so hard sometimes just to wait a beat. 9.
And Fleetwood to tie the lead. Ooh, tried to come back.
Sure was trying.
A little one left for Fleetwood to shoot 2 under going out. It's Nick Taylor, the leader by 1.
Now, as we get to the finishing hole, Matt Fitzpatrick, 7 under par, working the par 5. This one working to the left side of this green, up that left side of the fairway. Look like he will be in a good position to attack that pin on the right side. Now Novak, thicker rough to deal with here. Digging into that rough, just trying to make sure he gets it out as cleanly as possible. Advancing it, but not a lot of progress. And so back into that lane where he can be free of those tree limbs and try and pitch it onto the green. But on the par 5, Novak, just a poor tee shot will cost him some. Now, similar situation, opposite side of the fairway. So Taylor, his drive up the right side, and it leaves 257 yards, and he does have a good clean lie, it appears, even though it's still sitting down in that rough. Try and chase this one up and on. Well, this has a chance. And it is indeed successful. So Nick Taylor, who dropped back to 15 under, has put himself in position to hole an eagle putt. And he could jump to 17 under if he makes it. Now, 33 feet for Doug Gim. This for birdie. Short on speed. Carl Yuan. Off the tee here at 18. And he's going to take iron. So a little conservative, even though it's still moving left on him. And just to ensure that he had a good opportunity to play from a position out of that thicker rough, he chose iron, played 4 off the tee.
Let's go to 10.
Well, standing on the path is Hubbard.
Oh, that makes my wrist hurt.
He is going to enjoy that. Some shot. Wow, took the risk. Just a little shake of the head. Yeah, across to 13. Aaron Wright. And this is the part of the golf course, sort of like a birdie blitz yesterday coming in. Justin Rose birdied 6 of his last 7, so that sets up Rye nicely. That was yesterday, of course, though. Now back to 10. One of the favourites coming in. McIlroy went out in 38, yet to have a birdie. Maybe it starts here. Didn't find the fairway, but he's going to find himself a really good chance of finally making a birdie.
One of the chasers, one back, is Tommy Fleetwood on the tee at the 10th.
Yeah, 4 times a runner-up on this tour, but successful in Europe many occasions. Of course, those 4 runners-up over here, and you got WGC, 2 major championships, big time.
Brandon Wu at 14, 11 under. And an excellent play. That'll give Wu a good look from about 10 to 12 feet from the cup and a chance to see if he can pick up birdie. Jonathan Bird now taking a look at his yardage. These fans love the aggressive play, trying to play to that pin. Bird with just 1 birdie today. A number of starts here, and he's gone through what has not been necessarily what he had dreamed of each time he showed up here in the country of Canada, having missed 4 of the last 5 cuts. In 2019, he was T14 here, but then missed another cut a season ago. So this is definitely his best offering in over a half-decade. He's leaning a bit to the left, hanging out to the right and deeper.
Back here, 10th hole. Little side one for Hubbard. Stay high, stay high. And of course, just before I went to break, that is the CN tower. My daughter works for CNN, so a little confused there in Toronto. I love the place. So we go to 13, Aaron Wright, his second. 164. You want to be on the button here. Distance control, softer screens. Yeah, a little long, but still not bad. Conditions really good here. Not much breeze. Now back at 10. Can McIlroy finally make a birdie? Doesn't have the power. A little bit like last week, Columbus, Ohio on Sunday.
Yeah, I had the untidy 75 there. Ended up in tie for 7th.
So it looks like the three-peat not going to happen. How can he finish, though? To 12.
Well, this is 12.5 feet, roughly, for Nick Taylor. for eagle.
And Jim, every win oftentimes has a signature shot, and that little chop fairway metal from the rough was a dandy. Only thing that makes it better is if he buries this.
Caught an edge.
Got to go to the change here. A little bit left there.
But you watch him hit that putt, Trevor, and it looked like the pace he hit it with. He's trying to seize the advantage. He's not limping balls around the hole right now.
I saw that with his putt too, Mark, at the 10th hole that he knocked in for birdie. Dead center. We're at 10.
Well positioned. CT pan. So flat light, playing uphill. And hopes for some spin. Just need a little more. It's going to be the quick one. Across to 13. Saw that second shot of Aaron Rai. Nothing to be frightened of from here. Just got to get it to the house. So it's still just 2 back. He'll head to the rink hole. Now back here at 10. Like his wedge play, Trevor. I mean, it's sort of a little more armsy, doesn't overspin it.
Yeah, and you can tell by that finish right there, the abbreviated version, just trying to knock a little spin off of it, but not far enough up that slope to get the full peel back.
Yeah, he knew it too. Still. Aaron Rai, trying to do the maths here, right? Knock this in for 14. Got to think 17, 18, 19. The story's still good how he got into the game. His parents knew how expensive golf was. Basically did everything for their son. Yeah, good 4. As the game starts to open up, try and get many players from all over the world. 14.
All right, the walk you know Corey Conners is loving. From Listowel, Ontario, about an hour and a half away from here. They've been chanting his name, and he has now arrived. They've rehearsed that so many times today. I think their harmonizing is getting better and better. I'm not sure if that welcome for Corey Conners adds more distraction or gets him dialed, but we will see right here. Okay, I think we know the answer to that. Corey Conners embracing the fans. He did tell me yesterday they have been amazing. It feels like they are right on top of you, that they are in it with him. And Eric Cole joining us now. You just watched that amazing entrance that they gave Corey Conners. What is it like to step up into the rink?
It's incredibly cool. My reception was a little different than his, but no, it's an incredibly cool environment, and you just really want to get in there and hit a good shot.
And I love how into this you are as well. You want to see what's happening with Aaron Rye, who is about to tee it up as well, playing alongside Corey Conners today. Okay, Conners put it inside 10 feet. Let's see what Aaron Rye can do, if he can better his playing partner. And that'll be just fine. You really could not ask for a better environment. You know, every time we come to Canada, I'm so struck by just how golf crazy these fans have been, and you put on quite a show today. A bogey-free 63. That is now your lowest round of your PGA Tour career, your young PGA Tour career. What was the key for you, and how fun was it leaning into these fans who are behind you?
Yeah, no, the Canadian fans are awesome, and you know, today you just have to get through those first, well, really 3 through 6, and then once you get through there, you know, if you're hitting it well, there's a lot of birdieable holes, and I think there might be some birdies on this back nine, which could get them going a little bit.
Nick Taylor obviously trying to do something very special here. You are right now our clubhouse leader. You did tell me you didn't think you had quite enough in there. You ran out of holes, but for the viewers at home, what is the key to this final stretch? If you think 14 doesn't hold, what do these guys have to do?
Yeah, it's just 15 through 18 are, if you're hitting the ball well, they're very scoreable. So I'd be shocked if I didn't see a bunch of birdies coming down the stretch. But you know, it's a great environment, and it's a cool spot to be.
Well, as we all know, you can't go far. We never know what can happen on this final stretch. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll take Colt out of the sin bin, put him back in the chair. Let's head it out to 10.
Thank you very much, Eric Cole. He came back in 30 today in that round of 63. See, Fleetwood can start his back nine. Weak putt. Still remain 2 back from Nick Taylor. Interesting hearing from Eric detailing those last few holes. Hopefully we will be entertained with lots of red numbers to 11.
After a really good iron shot in here, Mark Hubbard. Big Denver sports fans. He'll be loving the Nuggets leading the series in the NBA Finals. Still 3 back.
CT Pan, similar line. Similar part to Fleetwood. So both ineffective here on the easiest par 4 here at Oakdale Golf and Country Club. Lots to play for. The beautiful 14th green, par 3.
Good news, Colt Knost out of the penalty box, and we are sitting here with Aaron Rye, who is staring down a lengthy putt here.
It's good to be back, Amanda. I deserve the crime, deserve the punishment. I'll be honest.
Behave yourself. We don't have that much of the show remaining.
I was down there mucking it up in the corner. I didn't like it.
Throwing some elbows, Colt?
Just a few elbows.
35 feet 3 inches for Rye.
Tell you what, a lot can happen on this back nine, though. We saw Ches Reavie earlier in the day shoot 28. That's a 8 under par. A lot of birdie opportunities, Trevor, if you can hit the fairway.
Mm-hmm.
Is he disappointed in that, Colt, considering how lengthy that was?
No, not at all. Not the best iron shot. Happy to make par and move on, and then he's going to need a hot finish. Because I think, Trevor, you're going to have to probably get to 18 under to have a chance.
Yeah, at the very least 17. Like you say, the par 5s on the back are both reachable. And so you got opportunities for eagles there.
Eric telling me off camera, he said if you're not birdieing each of those last 4 holes, you almost feel like you're losing shots to the field at this point. Let's take it out to 13.
Easy for him to say he did that.
That's what I said. 13.
Nick Taylor.
Little clipped off 8-iron drawing in there. This is pretty.
That's a good sign. Distance control. Took a little off it. Judged it nicely. Back to 14.
Okay, Corey Connors, the fan favorite right now at the rink.
You know, not having the weekend he was hoping for, but it was still so cool. He was high-fiving every fan going up the 14th here. See if he can get him going. How about that, Corey Connors?
Fully embracing this week, fully embracing the moment. Connors moves to 9 under, and the fans could not love this anymore. Look at that smile. It says it all, Cole.
They love him around here. I was talking to the tournament director while I was in the penalty box. I asked him, would you rather have Nick Taylor or Rory McIlroy win your tournament? He goes, not even close, Nick Taylor. Rory's a golf story. Nick Taylor is a Canada story.
Yes, he is. 11.
And this would be a big story as well. Nothing like Nick Taylor, but could Tommy Fleetwood get his first win on the PGA Tour?
Turning in there nicely. Will it catch the ridge and get better? Trying.
Pretty much where they're aiming, though, isn't it, Trevor?
That's a good shot. Left is no good at 11.
CT 2 over today. Has struggled. Can't make a putt.
I love downhill par 3s where you can see everything.
They are some good par 3s here for sure. And an outside chance for Pan, but more than likely another 2-putt for him from that range. Nick Taylor leads by 2.
Now to the tee. Mark Hubbard, par 5 12th, and this one moving to the right side of the fairway. Does he find the short grass? He does. And so Hubbard, as he quickly reached for that tee, he knew he was in a good position. The pin is cut back and left, so not a bad angle at all. Novak, decent lie here. Scrambling at 13. Get it close and a chance for par. Novak 1 over on the back half, and he turned at level. So a chance to scramble for a 4 there. Now Rory. Played this hole even for the week, and that powerhouse drive just shaping it off the right side of the fairway back to the left side. Not necessarily the best angle. I think he wanted, you can just judge from his reaction, he was trying to play that more to the center of the fairway. Moved it a little too much. Fans still loving McIlroy as their defending champion. Now Aaron Rai. Two gloves for Rai. 4 birdies, 1 bogey. Indication it is in the fairway, playing from the left side over to the right side. Both Connors and Rai trying to find a good spot in the fairway. Now Rai is on the right side with the pin cut back and right. Connors at what appears in a more favorable position. Angle of attack from the left side of the fairway to that back right pin should add up to a good number for Connors. Brandon Wu coming out of the rough. Second here at 15. Shorter par 4. Trying to take advantage of it. Through the green. Chesson Hadley, long club in his hand. Working 18, his second. This is up the left side. Takes that big hop, and it should come up short of the bunker. He can play from there.
And a late move being made by Tyrrell Hatton here at 17. Boy, if he could just erase that double back at 8. Tyrrell Hatton now 1 back at 15 under. And he can certainly get up on that green for an eagle putt at 18.
Now Nick Taylor, can he make a birdie before he goes to 14? What a reception that would be. Just cozies it down, but They gave Corey Connors that huge reception at 14. What are they going to do for the man leading the tournament? 11.
Yeah, very good point there, Frank. The shining North Star heads to the 14th as we watch CT Pan. Bronze medalist in Tokyo. 7-man playoff for the bronze. CT victorious with his lovely wife on the bag with him.
McIlroy was in that playoff, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. Morikawa as well. Yeah. It was the best part of the whole championship there. I was there in Tokyo, and that bronze medal playoff was exceptional. And this will be exceptional too as they head to 14.
You asked what this reception would be, Frank. We're about to find out right now. I will say there's no leaderboard actually on this hole, Colt. I hope they're aware of what their guy's doing.
Oh, they are fully aware. They are loving some Nick Taylor right now. I can't imagine the pressure he's feeling, Amanda. I mean, he's got the weight of an entire country on his shoulders.
You know, Corey Connors answered that call. Nick Taylor giving them a little clap, a little acknowledgement. But when he's talking to his caddy right there on the tee, is that just to try to block out what's happening and stay focused in this moment?
I don't think Nick heard anything he just said. I mean, he's hearing the national anthem. His heart is beating 1,000,000 miles an hour. Trevor, this might be a time where the caddy might actually say, lie about 5 or 6 yards with this yardage here because his adrenaline is going to be pumping.
Oh, yeah, he is feeling this for sure. And with all that extra attention, just hearing the national anthem, gotta stay focused here. Don't let your mind wander at all.
A couple extra wipes of the hands on the towel there.
That shows you.
And this is kind of one of those moments that players talk about, is getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. You're just not going to be able to lie about what's going on in your body, are you?
Listen, I mean, this is what you train for right here. He put so much pressure on himself to play well this week. Opened with 75, and now he has a 1-shot lead.
169 yards.
Oh, this one's turning over, headed a little left. Careful. Okay, safely aboard. That one made me nervous.
Yeah, he's got a few good bounces and breaks here. You think back to 12 when he chopped it out of the rough, and now there.
211.
Yes, and a big putt here for Tommy Fleetwood. He could get to 15 under and join his fellow Englishman Gerald Hatton. And he's done it. He continues the great putting. Fleetwood and Hatton, one back now of Nick Taylor, safely on the green at 14 to 12.
Hubbard from the fairway.
See how much farther McIlroy is down there.
Trying to knock it on this par 5 and 2 and get a little gracious bounce.
There you go.
At 18, Adam Hadwin for eagle. At 15. Rise second.
Whole location all the way in that right back corner.
Well played. Easy though. And I mentioned he was the #1 amateur in golf in the world in 2009 for 20 weeks. That won the McCormick Medal, which has been won by the likes of A lot of notables like Patrick Cantley, John Rahm, and Colt Knost.
Oh, Jim, you sweetheart. You really do your research.
Love you, pal.
It was an honor. There's no doubt about it, back in 2007. But this moment's all about this man right here, Nick Taylor.
And really, when you look at what he's done so far this season, Colt, runner-up at the Phoenix Open, another place that demands leaning into the fan chaos, for lack of a better term. And also, that week, carded 22 birdies. That was the 4th time in his career he has carded 22 or more birdies. And you talk about how important that is this week. He knows how to go low when it matters.
Yeah, I think the good thing for Nick is, obviously, he's got the lead. I'm sure he knows where he stands, but he knows what you can do on this back nine. So he knows he has to keep his foot on the gas and keep trying to make birdies.
When there is no decision there, when you know what you have to do, I'll come back to this, but I wonder if that makes things easier for you. Let's head over to Mark Hubbard on 12.
Got a chance for eagle. Taking aim. Oh, ran out of steam. Looks so good all the way, Trav.
It sure did. I thought it was going to make it there. Really put on the brakes in the last few feet. That now gets him to 14 and just 2 back. We got a long way to go here with these gettable finishing holes.
At 14. At 18, Adam Hadwin for birdie. Comes in at 11 under. It'll be a top 10 finish for Adam, who grew up in Abbotsford, British Columbia, along with Nick Taylor, who's at the 14th.
And Colt, that's what I was going to ask you. When there is no other option except to be aggressive because the only answer are birdies, does that simplify your mindset?
I mean, it should, but it doesn't. I mean, you're just like, how do I not make any mistakes coming in? But he knows he's got some great players behind him. And I can tell you one thing. We just saw Adam Hadwin finish. This doesn't happen very often. He will be out here at some point, whether it's on 16 or 17, following his good friend Nick Taylor, because he knows how massive this moment is.
That was from 17 feet, 8 inches. Can't quite get it to drop, but we'll tap in for his par here and move on.
No doubt about it, Colt. I would imagine Taylor Pendrith and Connors, they're all going to hang around.
We just saw Graham Dillette, former PGA Tour player, walk by. He's inside the ropes following Nick along.
And talk about how many people were inside the ropes watching Nick Taylor. I mean, this is one of those sideline things you don't realize until you're down here. There might be 5 or 6 people inside the ropes on other groups. How many would you say?
Too many men on the ice.
It certainly adds to how big this moment is and could be for Nick Taylor.
And this claw grip, Trevor, something new. He's only been doing this a few weeks.
Well, it's working.
I think he should stick with it.
Hopefully it keeps working for the last 4 holes.
To 15.
And Rye to get within 1. Yes. Aaron Rye to 15 under par. At 18, Hatton, who's made 9 birdies today.
Eagle here would make things very interesting.
It's such a rise up that hill to that green. It probably looked pretty good from down there. But Nick Taylor with 4 holes to play. The leader by 1.
To 15 goes Taylor. Now Doug Gim. Gim at 10 under, working 17. Big divot there. Watching this one right at the flag, just left of his target from 115 yards. He's about 7 feet from the cup and a chance to take it to 1 under on the back half. 18 to finish for Chesson Hadley. Birdie opportunity hoping to take it to 5 under. Hadley, 14 feet, just misses along the edge. So he stumbled on the way in, bogeyed 15, doubled 16, and he went from level par on the card to a 3-over score today. Nate Lashley looking over his left shoulder. He'll try and swing this left to right. That front foot, exaggerated stance, and that's a pretty solid shot. Lashley rebounding nicely from that tough position on a dogleg right. He was pretty much in jail on the left side behind the trees. Now Hadwin to finish 11 under, and he'll hear the applause. Another Canadian playing well this week in double digits and finishing up. So Hadwin, look at his card, even on the front, 4 under coming in. The closing 32, a big statement. More than anything else, trying to rally for the fan base here to perform well. And so Hadwin, with that, able to climb up the leaderboard, and he's in the top 10 right now. Certainly happy with his performance coming in. Nate Lashley, after that swinging shot from right to left out of the rough and around the trees. This for birdie. There you go. That's a payoff putt for Lashley.
We're at 15. And Nick Taylor.
With less than driver, trying to fit this into the widest part of the fairway.
Down the right side. But because of the fairway wood, doesn't run through.
Like a nice pass at that one. Again, he was 120th after the opening 75. His wife, Andy, who's back home, they just had their second child, a little girl named Harper, on May 6th. She's back home in Abbotsford, and 95% of the time you shoot, you're 120th or worse after the first round, you don't make the cut. But that's not the story here, Nick. This has been just amazing to watch, and you're gracious to join us. This was all planned before the round that you would walk and talk the 15th hole. You seem to be enjoying all of this at this very moment.
Yeah, it's been great. You know, my caddy Dave's keeping me loose. The fans have been absolutely incredible. I feel like I'm getting an ovation every time I walk to a tee or green. So it's been an amazing day.
Talk to us about that crowd support, Nick. I mean, we've just been watching you go through 14. The fans are singing the national anthem. I mean, is it tough for you to stay focused here? You know, how's that been?
Yeah, I don't have to wait for the anthem very often when I walk onto a tee, especially in the U.S. But it's been great. You know, the rink hole has really become one of its own, and it's such a fun time. And they're rowdy today, so it was a lot of fun.
And just back to that tee shot that you just hit there, went with the fairway wood. Was that because the fairway plays a little wider if you hang back a little bit?
Yeah, you know, the first time I lost one just a little bit to the right with a driver, and the 5 wood there just kind of sets up the hole a little better for me. So the last 2 days I've done that, and looks like I'm in a pretty good spot.
And what's the mindset for you here in the final few holes? Staying aggressive, thinking ahead to a number? What's going on in your mind?
You know, I'm trying to be cliche here, but keep my head down and I know there's a few groups behind me, and you know, a few more birdies will definitely help my cause.
Nick, we're going to let you set up for your second shot, and we'll catch up here in just a second.
Guys.
Thanks again. We're back at the 12th, par 5, and Fleetwood playing his third.
Going to want to take advantage of this par 5, and not being able to go for it in 2 is an issue, and that is a very poor wedge.
At 14.
Harry Higgs, the recently engaged Harry Higgs.
Fellow SMU Mustang, the big rig, Harry Higgs.
Harry's been working so hard on this mental side of the game, Colt. It's not been the season he's wanted, but certainly found something this week.
No, he had so much early success in his PGA Tour career, and then, listen, this is part of it. There's a lot of ups, there's a lot of downs, and he's obviously found that out the hard way, and good to see him battling back.
To 16.
And right back there is Aaron Rye, who could be the spoiler this week for the local crowd, especially if he hits this close. Wedge in hand. 112 is the number. I was online. Half a club short. I can feel that. He knows that. To the home hole.
And the third shot for Hatton.
This is big. Came out dead out of that thick rough. So he's going to have to make that to have any chance, in my opinion.
At 13.
Well, the lip is an issue here for Hubbard. Oh, just jumped at it too. Can he get it up? Ah, that's superb. Took the risk, and it paid off too for Hubbard. He's two back.
A little indecision on the wind in the golf club. They have been resolute sticking with 9. Don't want any part of long.
Okay. Right in the landing pattern from the airport. He lands that about 25 feet maybe away. And hey, Nick, just got to ask you, on Thursday after your 75, what turned things around for you? I know Andy and the kids are back home watching right now. Why don't you tell us that story?
Yeah, you know, I talked to my wife, and she's like, "You're just being too hard on yourself." You know, that guy's to be quiet here. One sec.
Novak's going to play first.
Nice angle from this left side.
A little hanging lie. Looks like a fast lie in that intermediate cut.
Shot.
That is a good shot. Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, you know, I was probably just being too hard on myself, you know, getting in my own way, and gave me a little pep talk, and that's not always going to pan out to a bunch of birdies like it's been the last few days, but it definitely didn't hurt. So it got me in the right mindset starting Friday. I knew I was swinging it well, and I saw some putts going late on Thursday, and was able to continue that the last couple days. So that's that was the main little trick on Thursday night.
Yeah, easy for us golfers to put a little too much heat on ourselves. Just going back to that nice iron shot you hit there, a little indecision going back and forth with the club choice. So what were the options?
Yeah, the winds kind of come in here, started swirling a little bit the last 4 or 5 holes. So we weren't sure how much help there was. Didn't really want to put it with long. Kind of went with the soft shot here, and didn't catch each area as far as we thought, but still in a decent spot here.
Well, Nick, we're going to step aside again. You're gracious. This was prearranged to do this before the round, and here you are on top of the leaderboard. Never had anyone in contention that's stood up and done the walk and talk with us, but we're really grateful, and this has been really enjoyable to watch. We wish you all the very best.
Thank you. My pleasure, guys. Thanks.
Thanks. Over at the 12th, here is Fleetwood, and he has a chance, has to hold a long one to tie the lead of Taylor. Of course, again, Tommy, the story there is 119 starts on the PGA Tour. Close so many times, never a winner on this circuit. Been showing signs of moving in on that first conquest. Great play here in recent weeks. 32-year-old. 16.
Now Rye trying to get out of that 3-way tie for second and catch Taylor. The guy's not reading enough into that putt, so just a 4. 18.
Hatton for one more birdie. Be his 10th of the day. Oh, yes. Boy, what a fiery effort by Tyrrell Hatton. Shoots 30 coming in, and like Cole, he birdies the last 4 holes.
What a bounce back after the double at 8.
he's just tied the lead with that. That is amazing. 64 with a double.
Tied for the lead with 2 rounds of 72 this week in the first and the third.
It looked like yesterday when everybody was scoring and he shot 72 that his opportunity got past him. But let's get back now to see what Nick can do.
A putt that's really not too complicated. Uphill the entire journey. Easy to leave this one short at this juncture, I would think.
All right, you are, Mark.
Those nerves, they're jangling.
A little uncomfortably short. Can't say enough about him coming on. And again, this is something that he was happy to do, and now you watch him climb up the leaderboard and you start thinking, wow, I don't want to put any thoughts in his head. There's so many things you could ask, but you don't want to be influencing history or getting into a player's mind when they're having the biggest and most important round of their lives.
100%. I was a little nervous about that, trying to choose my words carefully there when talking to him.
Me both.
Looks real focused though, doesn't he?
Trev, consider for a little bit having to hit a shot with an iron in hand after someone sang the national anthem to you.
At 13.
Hunched over is Hubbard from long range. Good effort. I know there's birdies and eagles out there. He's going to need them. Good performance. Not the longest off the tee. Iron play, one of the strengths of his game. Playing alongside Rory McIlroy, but Hubbard by far playing the better golf. 15.
Just outside 2 feet. In the next hour, he could go from a PGA Tour player to a national hero. Nick Taylor tied at 16 under par here at his National Open.
So Taylor exits the green. Aaron Rai taking a look back at the crowd noise. You hear the chants. Rory coming through. Now Mark Hubbard at 14. You would like to hear the applause. Tee to green, he hopes. And Hubbard will miss on that left side. It will slide off and bank up against that little thicker cut of rough. Now the chance for McIlroy. Fans coming through the back area. You can see the rink. It is loading up with the fans. And Rai just trying to quiet the mind. It's a shot off the lead. This fairway pitches left to right. And that will work up the right side. And so he should be in an all right position. Rai looking for the best angle of attack. That one did pour down to the bottom side of the green. So Rai with a dogleg right and the front bunker protecting that pin. We'll see what the number looks like coming up. Lashley out of the rough. He's been crafty with these second shots, trying to get out of jams. And this one back out into play. So Lashley will be scrambling from there to see if he can make the most of the hole.
Back here live, the man that won the Canadian Junior Championship. Backed that up by winning the Canadian Amateur Championship. Now trying to win the Canadian Open.
Wind across from the left, and that wasn't his best strike ever, Frank.
No flare to the right. There's some thick patches of Kentucky bluegrass rough. 14.
Rory McIlroy now on the 14th here at the rink.
Not the Sunday he was hoping for, but I tell you what, speaking to him last night, he is so excited for next week. He is fired up to get to LA Country Club. I haven't heard him talk about a golf course like that in a long time.
Playing alongside Mark Hubbard, who's having a great week, great season as well. He seems like he's coming on late in this year. Over to 13.
Now CT Pan. Try and draw a little wedge in here. Distance good, but when you're playing catch up, you got to go with the flag. Trevor, so many things can happen in this next hour or so, isn't it? Because, I mean, you've got a golf course that's really primed. Greens are soft enough.
Wind is down.
So Fleetwood's got to take it up a notch here. It's a good one. So Hatton in the clubhouse at 16 under.
We're at 14.
Mark Hubbard now, just talking about what a great season he's having, Colt.
Yeah, not his best shot there, but he has played some really good golf and paired alongside Rory McIlroy the last 2 days. Got to give him a lot of confidence going forward, playing against one of the best players in the world.
I talked to his brother Nathan about that, and he thought he was going to be exhausted heading into this week, but said playing alongside Rory yesterday and today has given him crazy amounts of energy. To 16.
Nick Taylor walks along there. Mark, I've got to say, you know, the roller coaster we looked into in the final round, it's got to be exaggerated for him today. He's playing at home, got the rink hole that he went through with the national anthem, walk and talk on the previous hole to try and get everything back on track, to pick your targets coming in. It's going to be difficult.
Yeah, no doubt. He's been awfully focused the entire time. He shows up at every golf shot, Frank, and gets either his name chanted or shouts of "Oh Canada." I mean, every turn he's getting a standing O from everyone around here.
Guys, I was just texting with Mike Weir, 53-year-old Mike Weir. He made the cut, shot 2 under today. He is on his way back to the golf course in case Nick finds a way to get this done over the next few holes.
Quickly to 14.
Rory McIlroy now 23 feet out.
Speaking of 23, shout out Neil Everett, who just wrapped up his incredible career at Sports Center with one of Frank's favorite sayings, bartender.
Well, Rory might want a drink after today. I know it wasn't what he was looking for, right?
Not at all, but I'm telling you, look out for him next week. He's going to get some rest. A lot to deal with this week. He'll be ready to go at LA Country Club.
To 16.
Speaking of ready to go, Amanda, Nick Taylor.
Gnarly lie downhill, flag 28 paces on. Anything just north of 100 would be great.
Well, it could all change here. So amazing. Going to have to rely on that short game. Needs some magic opportunities now as this event starts to open up. Hubbard.
Speaking of bartender, Frank, the drinks will be on Golf Canada tonight if a Canadian does go on for the victory. This will be a huge celebration. At 17 now, Aaron Rai, perfect tee shot, just 126. Needs birdie to get it to 17 under. Oh, right on line, one more club.
Now Fleetwood here, 438 yards of par 4 today. A little bit uphill. Long time caddy. Iron, Finnis. Going to help him out with a read. He's believed in him through thick and thin. wobbled a bit. Roll was all right. You see the line there.
Misread. Hasn't had many misreads, has he? He's been making almost everything.
He's just trying to break through that mental brick wall. Stage in the round. See yourself in the finish line. Try and get a clear picture. Nick Taylor needs that here as well.
Well, Frankie, the news does not get much better. This lie once again down in this rough.
He's got green to work with, though.
He does, but it's uphill. That's just a professional guess, hoping for some sort of decent contact.
Took a really soft first bounce. He would have expected that to tumble a little more out of that lie.
Putt's going to be a little more difficult too, not just for Nick Taylor. All of Canada on his shoulders.
We are back at the rink. Our final pairing is coming through. Tommy Fleetwood. He's not Canadian. He's not a hockey guy, but he's the best flow on tour.
So jealous.
These guys have to appreciate it.
Of the hair and the golf swing. Tell you what, he's starting to play some really good golf. Good to see him back getting in contention.
Temperatures have dropped. Winds have picked up over to 16.
Important part here, Amanda. Got a turn.
Frank, I believe he hit that right where he was aiming.
Had a 2-shot lead not long ago. Now Hatton sitting pretty in the clubhouse after his round of 64. Taylor now a chaser. 14.
CT Pan told me he loves Canada. He played on PGA Tour Canada and won twice up here.
Well, he is not loving today. It has been a struggle. See if he can make a few coming in for a really nice finish, and that is a heck of a golf shot.
Wow. Leaves himself just 4 feet to 17.
Where we left Aaron Rai on the green here, it's a difficult putt to get to the hole. Up the hill. Beautifully done for Aaron Rai. As a child, wanted to be a Formula One driver. And he can drive his way home up the last. Needs a birdie or an eagle.
Send it out to Tommy Fleetwood.
Coming down the hill, can he do it? That putter has been so hot all week. I tell you what, Trevor, this thing is getting interesting. Is 16 under enough?
I can feel it up here. Jim and I were just talking about it. So many cool storylines, and this Nick Taylor trying to win in his home country, first Canadian in 69 years. Definite intensity.
To 17.
Yes, intense indeed.
Tee shot a whole lot more comfortable with the breeze off his right.
Got to get it in the short grass, make birdie here, give himself a chance at the last as well. Currently 1 back.
That's a beautiful start.
Yeah, nice bounce back after the poor swing on the previous hole.
Yeah, he looked a bit steery on the hole before. 14.
CT Pan now just 4 feet.
That's the first birdie we've seen in a while.
It is.
Takes the lid off CT Pan.
I know he's not thrilled with his final round, but that'll make him feel a little bit more positive. Over to 18.
And Rai is 1 back on the tee at this birdieable finishing hole, the par 5. Tracer by TrackMan. Careful here. Oh, he threads it.
That's a little further down there than we've seen some of the players. He's going to have a shorter club in.
And a good angle, too. Back to 14.
Fleetwood to clean up his par.
Yeah, first things first, gotta have it. No problem at all. It is going to be a race to the finish, Amanda.
All right, you race out there. Colt, it was a pleasure spending the day with you here at the rink.
Stepping off this putt, Mark Hubbard, as he starts to zero in on that target line. A little uphill. And so Hubbard trying to bounce back, taking a look at this play. 25 feet. Lost a shot as he missed the green at 14. So trying to get back to 14 under. Uphill, a chance, but not enough speed. And so you can see his reaction. He'll be looking at par from there. Now out of the rough, Brandon Wu at 18, his third. Up in the air, trying to work. Definitely runs out nicely. A little bit more than Wu expected. And so still a birdie chance inside of 10 feet. We'll see if he can make that. Tommy Fleetwood looking on. Nick Taylor making his walk up after dropping a shot. And so Taylor with the bogey at 16. He is now one shot off the lead of Terrell Hatton, who is in the clubhouse with a 64. Aaron Rye taking a look at the yardage. Let's get to CT Pan. Pan, target line up the left side, and the big hop back towards the middle of the fairway. So it runs on that upslope. It'll be an uphill lie. Now Fleetwood. .421 yards this par 4. And Fleetwood will work with the driver in his hand. So he'll try and get as much out of this tee shot as he can. A fairly straightaway par 4. Tommy Fleetwood with driver, picking the left side of this fairway to play off of. And shot tracer showing you that line. And it looks like it's too much. Well, he turned it over more than he had imagined. And so that may make things doubly tough. This is a shorter par 4 he needs to take advantage of. 18 now for Jonathan Bird to finish at 12 under. He comes up short. So Bird will need to mark that and finish with a 5, it looks like.
17.
Andrew Novak from the thick rough first to go.
Another ghastly lie. Things come out pretty well, though.
Oh, it took off high, but just didn't get enough club on it. Thought it was good. He's played well, but he's back at 11 under and a tie for 8th. Nick Taylor will be next to go, Mark, and he's hit a beautiful drive down here, well over 300 yards.
He does carve that little fade shot up against this right to left breeze. And you heard the marching orders, green light special, 111 yards.
Indeed.
It's the perfect situation here just to stand a nice firm cut up against this right to left breeze. A little lower flighted.
Be the club. All right, not bad. Could have done without the spin, but 15 feet for birdie. But now one back. Must finish with a couple of birdies to be the first Canadian to win in 69 years. What a feeling.
Here is the 18th. Look down the way. This little creek that curves around, visually stunning. You see this hole from above. Here's Rye, one back, going after this in 2 from 230.
Oh, this is on a nice line to catch the ridge if it's got enough.
Oh, look at that. There's a little ridge right there.
Ah, it's going to be turned back. But a 2-putt from there to tie Tyrrell Hatton for the clubhouse lead.
He liked what he was looking at after that swing. Begged it a little bit, urged it to get up that hill. He'll have an eagle try. Fleetwood has also one back. Taylor's one behind. Hatton the leader. CT Pan at the 15th. He's 3 back.
Need to finish like Hatton had.
And Cole, they both birdied the last 4 holes. And that is a start. At 17.
Just outside 15 feet for Taylor to once again tie the lead at 16 under. It's a good stroke. It's a great putt for the Canadian. He's back on top with 1 to play. This would be a Cinderella story.
His heart was already beating fast, and it just jumped up about another 50 beats with that fist pump and that reception.
3 Englishmen, 1 Canadian in the top 4 on this leaderboard. Can it be the Canadian takes it home?
Fleetwood at 15, not in the way off the map, thick stuff, but that was thick enough. And he did a fine job getting it to that point. This is a long walk from 17 to 18, over 200 yards.
Yes, lots going through his mind, Jim, as we head to the last.
And the same goes for Aaron Rai, who has this putt to take the lead. 2 putts to tie. Okay. Nail-biting 4.5 footer still to come.
His best finish ever on tour, tie for 4th at the Zurich Classic with partner David Lipsky. Tie for 6th, his next best finish at the Farmers last year.
Still walking. From 17 green to 18 tee, through the woods, out into the open to a par 5. What a clutch putt that was at the 71st.
And you're just trying to boil it right down into the moment here. I need 2 great full golf swings. Give myself a shot at eagle, definitely a birdie, and then just wait for the other groups to finish.
Okay, his fellow Canadian is on the green here at 18 for birdie. Well, Corey had it at the first today, about 8 feet for birdie. Just felt like a lot could hinge on that. Get a little momentum. Could see how dispirited he was after he missed that one. Bogeyed the next hole, and then a double came soon thereafter.
Tough weekend. 70 yesterday, 74 today.
This putt for Rai. There is movement, Trevor.
Just a little bit from his left, I believe. This guy is one of the hardest workers on tour. Let's see if all that work can pay off here.
To make it a 3-way tie. Not a problem. Beautifully played. At 15, meanwhile, here's Fleetwood. Can make it a 4-way tie at the top if he holds it.
Not the time to be leaving putts short. And he knows it by that reaction.
One of the tee at 18. You don't hit driver here.
Player is sheltered in this alcove of trees, but there definitely is wind off his left-hand side. And I move something 240 yards or so to take the bunkers out of play.
Ten of 14 fairways hit on the day. This one cut into the right side.
Easy. Easy. It's going to be just fine. This was his 9th hole of the tournament on Thursday, and he made 7.
I'm glad you didn't tell him that in the walk and talk.
That was one thing I had written down not to ask. As Pan makes birdie at 15, back-to-back for CT, and he is not to be ruled out. Novak on the tee going with iron at 18.
He's a big, burly, powerful man. Really strikes down on these long irons. Pinches them, sends them low.
Yeah, he's got a low ball flight. We saw it yesterday on this hole. This one trying to decide what to do, and it's heading right. Look at that kick. That bounce wiggled as much as the top tracer. How about Nick Taylor? This was at the 2nd hole, and folks, he made a wonderful save for par 1. Gave him a confidence boost at the 2nd for birdie. This is at 4. So a par, birdie, par, and birdie stretch to open things. Par at the 5th. And now for birdie at 6.
Everyone's been talking about how tough the first 6 holes are. Not for Nick Taylor today. He played those in 3 under.
This was at 7, par 5. This was a wonderful little shot out of a thickish lie. Led to birdie, then at 10. At 17, after dropping a shot at 16, what a way to come back.
What a reaction. One of the keys to me was the 2nd shot at 12 up the hill at the par 5, coming from that long rough, got it onto the green and walked away with that birdie there.
And produced a roar that could be heard all the way to British Columbia. At 16.
A lot depends on the lie here. Holes cut back left. Little ridge through. Had a lash at it. I think it's going to turn out all right. Good shot. Of course, outside chance. But oh, Taylor.
He's walking with his man, Dave Markle, his caddy, and Dave, player himself, out of Shelburne, Ontario. In fact, Markle qualified back in 2012. Monday qualified for the RBC Canadian Open by shooting 66 in a qualifier. So Canadian duo taking the numbers on a vital 2nd shot coming up. Meanwhile, at 16.
Oh, he just unleashed on that tee shot. And that's what we were looking for. Oh, if he hit more wedge shots like that. Great shot. CT Pan all the way back there. Just going to go with fairway first.
A little surprised here, Frank, going with iron. Sorry it took me so long to get here. The traffic in Toronto is brutal.
I know what you like when you're Uber driving. So, sauteed that beautifully. It's down the left side, so well positioned. He's taking the iron. Good rhythm.
Late little charge by him, too. He's still in the mix.
Yeah, a couple of birdies there. Rhythm's good now. Tommy, different strategy, Cole.
Yeah, going with the big stick. Hit it in the fairway, and you have just a little wedge left.
That's a laser.
That's straighter you can point, Frank.
Gosh, look how little curve there in the top right. Only 4 feet of curve.
He got a little bit on the upslope too. That might help. He goes forward. So 3 tied at 16. Fleetwood just the 1 shot back to 18.
And Novak, after the gracious bounce, able to give this a go in 2 from 259 up the hill.
Is it cutting too much? Oh, yeah.
Well, well, well. Here we go.
I do too, dude. I mean, I'm looking at the rough line here on the right. Yeah, there's there. Okay, and that's gonna get us to where you want to be, man. All right. See your shot. Go when you're ready. Let's go.
Jim, this is the same club he hit off the tee, and the same club he hit back on the 12th, the par 5, which is just about 25 yards to his right. Decent lie. They're talking about it being slightly hot out of there.
It's a good looking line. Sit down.
It did come out hot. They were right about the lie. And talking about lies, I cannot wait to see. There you go. Oh, he might actually take a drop because of that, what looks to be a sprinkler head or drainage.
Could be standing on it.
A sprinkler head, yeah. I'm just looking out the back of the tower now. May be able to get a drop. And if he does take a drop, gosh, he might be able to get it pretty close to the green.
1 club length would be very close to bringing the fringe in play. If that's the case. That is directly below us, not even 15 feet away. That was a beautiful strike, and Orlando Pope is helping us out with the rules. And just at a first glance at that, what's it look like to you, Orlando? And where could he possibly drop this?
Thanks, Jim. It looks like he might be standing on it. He's very close, so if he is standing on it, he can get a stance where he's off the sprinkler head, get his reference point, and get a club length, and he could go closer to the short grass there.
This is going to be a massive moment.
I tell you, given the situation, that was some strike that he made right there.
Yeah, beautiful swings down 17 and 18 for sure. How about this reception?
Let's see the stands.
Where are you?
He's calling for an official, I believe. He's looking over at Novak.
Trying to see who's away here.
He might be just outside of that sprinkler head.
I don't even think they've spoken about it yet.
Here's Novak to play. He's not going to even contemplate that, it appears. Let's go to 16.
Well, if he doesn't get that up and down, the shot becomes a little more important for CT.
Little surprise. He laid all the way back, Frank, but won't have to worry about the spin from 149. This is just right of it.
Oh, it's a good shot, Colt.
Can he birdie the last 5?
A lot depends on this one here at 18.
We had one of our spotters say that he heard Markle say, do we need an official? And he shook his head no. He's going to play it.
Yeah, he might like the lie, but he looks pretty close to that sprinkler. Nevertheless, he's made his decision here.
Trev, there is a little bed of grass underneath that golf ball.
Here comes the ridge.
It's got to go.
It's going to catch it right here, just a touch. That was not a good lie. Again, it's one of those moments when it's just pure guesswork. See, his left foot is just outside the sprinkler head area.
I gotta say, I would have absolutely at least asked the question to an official.
Couldn't agree more, Trevor. I really couldn't. He might rue that decision as you watch Fleetwood here. His second.
Aggressive tee shot, has it on the upslope. Just 100 yards. This looks good, Frank.
No, it is, and he's going to have that to get to 16 under.
Yeah, Fleetwood, he could find himself on the 18th tee in that final pairing, tied for the lead, needing birdie to win. And there have been so many birdies surrendered here at the 72nd.
Another look at the lie there. Looked to me like the outside part of his front foot was quite close to that sprinkle head. But he's got 11 feet left to take the lead.
It's a putt that's got a lot of break to it, too. And it's speedy. It can get away from you.
It is a packed house around 18.
If an entire sporting nation has ever collectively held its breath, it's right now. Here it comes. He's done it.
What a finish.
Wow. Birdies 17 and 18. That putt was so pure.
Watch the read here. He throws it way out to the right, and then it turns at the very last second.
It's the same thing that happened yesterday on this green. Came in at the last moment from the right side when he established the course record.
Oh, Canada.
What he's done these last 3 days, 67, 63, 66 today. That might be one of the most expensive golf balls ever possessed. in Canada that he just tossed into the crowd. Meanwhile, at 16.
Now CT Pan.
Frank, you could hear the roar over here, and the hospitality tents went crazy when they showed Nick Taylor's birdie putt.
I know that's a miss for CT, Colt, but that actually shows Fleetwood the line. But it's nice to see CT Pan back again, Colt. That wrist injury started up again at the RBC Hilton Head.
I love his physio's advice. Just don't hit it in the rough.
He hasn't quite listened to that today, but little birdie run to the clubhouse.
There's Mike Weir, Graham Dillette. Saw Connors earlier.
Adam Hadwin in there too.
Hadwin was there. And now Fleetwood.
Well, he can spoil that party, Jim.
Fairway Jesus knocking on heaven's door. He ain't going away.
Wow. That's a real barn burner. Fleetwood heads to 17. 18. There's a pearl.
T now with Englishman Tommy Fleetwood, one back.
Finchy, his caddy, walked by me and said they are not going to be happy when we beat Nick Taylor in a playoff.
That's Ian Finnis. He's a confident man.
Yeah, they may have to hire some extra security if Tommy goes birdie on these next 2 holes.
I mean, you remember, Trevor, when VJ Singh beat Mike Weir, VJ was almost like apologetic when he won.
Yeah, we covered that back 20 years ago. He too looking for his first victory. 4 runners up for Tommy Fleetwood on the PGA Tour, including a US Open at Shinnecock. It's amazing. We mentioned earlier about the greens being a little slower and how the European players have certainly shown that in the top 10 players here. Definitely used to these greens around 11 on the stimp meter. CT Pan.
Got to go birdie eagle. This one leaking a little right. Going to be just fine.
Still all kinds of possibilities out there, though, with this final pairing as we go to 17, where they reside.
Certainly one of the most exciting finishes I can remember. We're all a little nervous here in the tower behind 18 green, watching this all unfold. Tommy Fleetwood can be the spoiler with a couple of birdies, but he needs at least one to tie.
Just such an exciting finish, Ian. It gives you so many birdie opportunities. I mean, the amount of guys that have birdied the last 4 or 5 holes today, it's been incredible.
Tommy did birdie 17 and 18 yesterday.
CT not going to go away.
No, he's fought back well. Bad start.
Yeah, this is green light all the way. Just a sand wedge from 114.
Just controlling the spin's the key here, Colt.
This on a really nice line to start. Spin ball.
That to go to 15 under. Tracer by TrackMan showed that shot right on line all the way. Great visual now for Fleetwood.
Wasting 0 time. Also a sand wedge 109. See if he can dial it in.
Little club twirl.
This one needs to spin. Oh, and it does.
Here comes Fleetwood. Inside 4 feet for birdie to tie Nick Taylor in the clubhouse at 17. That was right on the number. Good aggressive pass through the ball. Plenty of spin on it. And that left for his 6th birdie of the day.
Ian, but how good is that control and the adrenaline under that kind of pressure and dialing in? Just shows you how good these guys are.
Yeah, he knows what he had to do, though. I think that's the difference. For Nick Taylor there for a couple of holes with the lead, with so many chasing him, he was kind of steering it a little bit and a little uncertain. Great birdie at the last, of course, but Tommy knows what he has to do now. He's the aggressor. 10 years since he claimed his first European Tour title back in 2013 at Glen Eagles, another great golf course.
Rose.
Carving it in there.
Yeah, beautiful shape to it. And above the ridge.
Hasn't had much action on this second 9, all pars. Trying to finish with the eagle here.
Back to 17.
Pan will be first to go.
Obviously gotta have it. Tommy Fleetwood in there close, looking like it's gonna probably have to get to 18, so I don't know if he has a chance or not, Ian.
Knock this in to get to 15, eagle the last 17. That's what he has to strive to do. Tommy looking on.
I mean, Tommy has just over 3.5 feet for his birdie, and 18 they've just been destroying all week.
Yeah, the way Tommy putts, that's almost what my buddies at home call claret jug good. You got a claret jug, anything inside 4 foot's good.
You got nice friends.
You certainly
nice
don't
trophy.
accept those, do you?
Yeah.
I certainly do. And I'm sure he'd accept one right now as well.
It's just inside of 9 feet, not a lot in it. Just coming down the hill, should be pretty quick.
CT, of course, a winner of an RBC tournament, the 2019 RBC Heritage. Yes, sir. Finds the bottom of the cup, moves to 15 under, coming back now. 1 under on his round today after that poor start, little shaky. Couldn't make a putt early.
And Ian Shotwing's got it right at 3 feet.
Born in Southport, England. Plays out of Hillside, right next door to Royal Birkdale, the famous open course. Used to sneak on the course whenever he had the chance.
Leading putting for the week.
And continues to lead. Tommy Fleetwood heads to the last. Tied at the top.
Great plan by Tommy. Birdies 16 and 17 to get to 17 and tie Taylor in the clubhouse. Taylor after 66.
You see how he's taking that slow walk there? That's something that Butch Harmon was talking to me about this morning. He said last night he gave Tommy some advice that Ben Hogan gave his father, Claude Sr. He said when he was under pressure, always take your time a little bit, walk a little slower. You're going to be nervous, you're going to be anxious. Use the pace of your walk to try and calm things down in the big moment. He's headed to the final hole. It's been the easiest hole for the day, easiest hole for the week.
It's interesting that Butch would tell you that story from his father, Claude, who was the 1948 Masters champion. And of course, when Claude won, he was a longtime golf professional at Wingfoot Golf Club.
Correct.
He made a hole-in-one at the 12th. He was playing with Hogan, and Hogan made a 2. And he couldn't wait to hear what Hogan was going to say. And I got to the 13th tee, and Hogan said, "You know, Claude, I can't remember the last time I made a 2 at 12."
Focus from the hawk.
Meanwhile, up here on the green at 18, Justin Rose for eagle. It all came undone for him today with one shot, this tee shot at the 8th.
Yeah, went with the iron off of the tee and hit it to the right, lost the ball. Then on the 3rd shot from the tee, completely switched strategy and went with the driver.
Justin had this incredible hot stretch at the end of Saturday's round. It got him a late start. This could move him into a tie for 6th. Not quite the eagle bid that he wanted. And of course, eagle is what CT Pan is going to need. That's one scenario you've got to remember, as Fleetwood needs birdie to take the title. Okay, Higgs with some attitude adjustment this week by his own admission, and not the Sunday that he hoped for, but it's good to see him back playing late on a Sunday and closing with a birdie.
This week absolutely going to help Harry. 127th in the FedEx Cup standings coming in.
$11 under, by the way, ends up in a tie for 12th. If Fleetwood's going to have to wait, because you still have out there McIlroy and Hubbard.
Tommy's been snacking quite a bit on the last few holes. He had the banana at 17. I saw him eating something here in the fairway.
Okay, the green is cleared for Hubbard second. Oh, it's pounded.
Be right.
It is. It's going to curl around too. Oh, this is gorgeous. Mark Hubbard in tight for an eagle attempt.
That's a nice visual for Fleetwood. Watching from the top of the hill at the tee. McIlroy now.
Ooh. Right below the tower.
Seemed to be in between clubs. He was just trying to nudge that one.
We can have a gawk and talk. He can overhear us. But here's what he has done. Fleetwood this week has birdied it all 3 rounds.
You can pretty much throw a blanket over those. So he has the strategy down.
Nick Taylor is watching from the locker room, we're told. Iron is the selection for Tommy.
And Trevor, his demeanor has not changed one bit. Just all business, but he slid out in front of this one, headed a little right.
Needs a bounce.
Oh boy, that is a huge miss.
I can see the top of it though.
Sitting up a bit. Doesn't sink to the bottom, but the question is, can he get enough on it to be able to get it up onto the green? Now we got Pan. Again, 3 is the number he has to have.
And that missed fairway definitely gives him a little bit of hope.
Made an eagle in the 2nd round, Colt.
Just got to put it in the fairway. This one looks good.
Yeah. No question about that one. Well, the suspense has been at a high level for a couple of hours. Now we come down to this final pairing with Fleetwood looking for birdie to take the title. Rory about to play his third. Gotta get it to here. Let's go back, and there's even a closer inspection of the lie for Fleetwood, and that does not look as good as we thought at first glance.
Well, guys, I'll be honest. I've definitely seen worse lies. The grain of the grass is going with him, so it's not too bad. I just think it's going to come out a little hot with not much spin.
But you definitely think he can get it there, Colt.
100%. He pulled out a 5-wood, which I think is the correct club. Wouldn't be surprised if this, I mean, his play is probably just over the back of the green here.
Yeah, maybe with a lack of spin coming from the rough, he can play like a ridge runner up the left-hand side, use the contours of the green.
He has 259 yards, so I think that 5-wood's a perfect club. Maybe kind of chop down on it and try to hit a little fade with it.
Plays up the hill about 9 yards.
Ian Finnis grinding out some numbers. But they're going to have to wait a while. Still got Rory for birdie, Hubbard for eagle.
And guys, he has iron out right now, looking like he's thinking about laying up.
Okay, cool. Now McIlroy for birdie. Okay. Par is the last. Shoots even par for the day. 12 under. And a tie with Brandon Wu and Novak for 9th. Yeah, Fleetwood is going to lay up. He's not going to wait any longer. He's just going to go ahead and get this on the upslope. Careful going right.
Make sure you put it in the fairway.
I am shocked by this, guys. That is just a massive mistake.
Oh, and it's disappeared.
Trevor, the lie was plenty good to try to force it up there.
Gosh, and if you decide to lay up, you cannot make that mistake.
Tell you what, he just brought 6 into play.
He's going to have all sorts of lie issues with the ball well below his feet. No angle to the back right hole location.
We saw him go over there with a 5-wood and touch the top of the grass behind it to see what the lie felt like to him. That is a big mistake, and it disappeared in some of the darkest, greenest grass we've seen here, which means it's lush and it's thick. Hubbard trying to show Pan what the path is to a 3. The CT waits to hit his second. Just a little too far out, too much speed.
That was the same putt pretty much that Nick Taylor made.
It was. Nick Taylor is out of the clubhouse now. He's going to go begin a warm-up process, if that's necessary for a playoff, which would commence here at the 18th. Birdie close for Mark. 200 par round of 70, tied 6th.
69th in the FedEx Cup standings coming into the week, so this is a nice boost.
Boy, Tommy has a long time to think about what just happened there and somehow put it behind him. CT now.
I mean, they're giving him a chance. This from 260, going with 3-wood. This is headed just right of it. Needs to go.
It's not going to make it.
Not sure if that got down into the bunker or hung up in the rough.
Fleetwood marching off to the side of the fairway. It's going to be ball well below his feet. It's actually 23-foot elevation drop from green level to where the ball is.
So much guesswork to be done for him now with the ball that far below his feet and coming from the thick rough. You're wondering as a player how much that grass is going to catch the hosel of the club and then twist the face closed.
Well, Trevor, he's going to walk all the way up to the putting surface and take a look, but I'm telling you right now, he would take 5 and happily go to a playoff.
What do you think the play is going to be? You're back there near the ball. What do you think he's going to want to do with this?
Well, he has just 86 yards, but it's so far below his feet. I think he's got to throw it out there to the left and hope it catches the slope and feeds towards the hole. But Trevor, you know, listen, I don't like questioning players' decisions, but I am just shocked by that layup there. The lie was plenty good enough to try to hit that 5-wood up there somewhere around the green.
Yeah, and at least give yourself a better shot if you're going to lay up. Cardinal mistake there to hit it into the long grass. I totally agree with you on strategy. Needs to try get something running up the middle of the green and see if he can catch the ridge, feed down into that bowl. At least give himself a chance with a makeable putt to win the tournament. But one thing you got to do here, make sure you put it on the green. You know, let's be thinking playoff at worst if you're Tommy Fleetwood.
You know, the 18th hole, because it's a short 5, has been backed up all day long. But you think about what he had to do. He had a long wait on the tee at 18. And then there he was. He didn't have to. If he's going to, even if it's layup, he didn't have to rush it.
Yeah.
But he was contemplating another long wait on his second.
Do you happen with the landers ball though? Loads of room to the left. What? Loads of room to the left. I know, but what line? Where do you want it to come down? On 18 and it's nearly coming down. Alright. Does that mean?
Yeah, definitely picking up a little frustration here.
I mean, Trevor, can you blame him? He missed the fairway with an iron off the tee and then missed the fairway laying up.
I know, but you got to flush it. You got to flush that. Trying to win right here.
No.
Nick is watching on the phone. It's interesting. Ian came in and brought it to a halt for a second.
And you can see how far below his feet this golf ball is. Just cannot miss right. This one is headed long and left, needs to sit.
It's going to be on the dance floor, Colt. It's not an easy 2-putt. But his putting has been absolutely superb this week. He's #1 in the field. We've had 74 players come through 18 today, and there have been 2 6s.
Playoff holes, 18 starting with.
It's tied after that. They'd go back and play 18 one more time. And if that's tied, they'll bring the 9th into play. Let's not forget, CT Pan is over here, green side, about to play his 3rd on the side of the hill. If he could somehow knock it in, he's tied for the lead.
I mean, not to get too much hockey today, but do you believe in miracles?
And no, Al was watching it. He loved that, by the way.
One of the greatest calls of all time.
Oh, yeah. The How many thousands are ringing the 18th? Wondering how this is going to sort out.
And I mean, the guys, the Canadians, they're so polite. They are so nice. They never root against anybody. But I promise you, right now, they're hoping this putt doesn't go in.
Well, if it goes in, it's a win. You're right. We keep talking about how he's got to avoid a 6, 3-putt 6.
A lot of the fans back in the fairway were chanting, "We want Taylor," while Tommy was getting ready to hit his second. So obviously, we know who this crowd's rooting for. No surprise.
Right there where he's standing, that's where the ridge is. He's just trying to get a feel for how that ball is going to react when it reaches the ridge. Not too intricate from a line standpoint, Colt. All about the speed here.
Yeah, you've been watching it all day, but I feel like it's easy to leave this putt a little short. That slope's not quite as steep as they think it is.
Here we go, 46 feet. You make it, you win it. Guess what? This suspense is going to last for a while. That was a good putt by Tommy. Knocks it in for a 5. We're going to have a playoff.
Little extra time coming up.
Well, for Fleetwood, you birdied the 18th hole the first 3 rounds. But with all of that on the line, that breakthrough win on the PGA Tour, just offline with your first and second shots, and it results in a 5.
3rd week in a row, we're going to have a playoff.
That's right.
And Trevor, a tournament that hasn't had the best of luck the last 4 years, they deserve this. A Canadian in a playoff with a chance to break this crazy drought.
Yeah, well said.
Of course, the tournament was canceled due to COVID, not only in 2020, but also in 21. And Rory had won it in 19 with that brilliant final round 61 at Hamilton, where we'll be next year. Then came back and won it, defending his title, if you will, 3 years later, and winning at St. George's. CT now. That's a birdie.
Great finish.
He'll share the bronze
Again.
with Aaron Rai. There you go. They don't have to go have a playoff for 3rd here. And with Rai and Hatton, what a round Terrell put up with 10 birdies today. Heard a reference to Mike Weir's close call with winning his National Open. Went to a playoff with Vijay Singh. And that was actually 2004 when that happened. Vijay won it, and he was borderline apologetic after he won it. Weirzy, of course, the major champion out of Canada. He has that legendary status that I alluded to earlier, that Nick Taylor, he truly would. He would just jump up to the icon level here in Canada if he could win. This is what he had to do. Turns out he had to have it. What a gorgeous putt. And then Fleetwood trying to chase him down. Then at 18 from 46 feet, beautiful pace.
Right about here, I thought it still had a pretty good chance.
Too.
Just straightened up on him.
So each player, their first PGA Tour playoff. Here's a look at what they did in regulation.
Yeah, Fleetwood with a poor swing off of the tee with the iron getting into the rough, then decided to lay up. Never really looked like making birdie. And Taylor, with that great putt from 11 feet, made his.
By the way, it's been hit home a lot of times about Tommy Fleetwood trying to win for the first time on the PGA Tour. Let's certainly give him his due. He's got 6 DP World Tour victories in his career. He's been a world-class player for a long time. His most recent win on the DP World Tour was in South Africa in 2022. Been on the European Ryder Cup team, of course.
He's 2 for 2 in playoffs on the DP World Tour.
There's no longer a draw for the order off the tee in a playoff. It's judged or based off of who finished first, who got in first, and that would be Nick.
And I like the opportunity to go first here. Go ahead and put one down in the short grass. Put a little extra heat on Tommy.
Trevor, he arrived on the tee a good 2-3 minutes before Tommy Fleetwood, and just looking down the fairway, really visualizing what was up, and the whole warm-up was unhurried.
Boy, that was an unhurried, sweet pass at that one, Mark.
That certainly was, Jim.
Iron again off the tee for Fleetwood.
I tell you what, he's got a lot of supporters out here, but he is still definitely the villain.
Well, this is a good one.
This is the one he wanted in regulation.
Trevor, that is a long ways back.
Okay, they both find the fairway to begin this playoff for the RBC Canadian Open title. You're looking up the 18th with our drone footage. The serpentine-shaped water hazard that helps frame this hole, and then the steep rise second shot to that perched green. It's a par 5. Places a par 4, interestingly, for the membership. You so often see when you get to a tour event being adjusted or a major championship, a 5 going to a 4, but not a 4 going to a 5. But that's the case this week, Trevor.
Yeah, interesting par 5 finisher with players really having to lay up off of the tee, and in many cases hitting a longer second back up the hill than what they went with on the tee shot. Fleetwood a long way back there.
Trevor, he is. I got him at 276. And that's without the uphill. He's got 268 to cover in line.
Now, he doesn't carry a 3-wood. He has a driver and then a mini driver. That looks like what he's going with.
Well, he launched it way up in the air, but it's headed a little right.
It is right.
I believe it came all the way down into the bunker.
So an opening for Taylor.
What's he have here, Mark?
your spot, see your shot, buddy, right down on that 18.
Jimmy's got 8 yards farther away than he did in regulation.
Here's Fleetwood's ball. It's not in the bunker. It's just barely above it.
Remember, this was the last club he hit in that warm-up when he was waiting for Fleetwood.
It's a little cooler right now, Trev. It's a 5-wood. Didn't catch that at all.
Oh, not at all. Missed strike.
Really low off the face. Didn't get much air under it.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, that's going to be awkward. That's going to be very awkward.
It looks like he might have a stance, 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Oh, yeah, he skinned it. He just did not hit it in the sweet spot. Hit it way too low on the face.
He had an opening.
Sure did.
We're going to have to see what the stances are going to produce for Taylor. And we were dealing a lot when he was playing the 72nd hole about his stance. It was so close to the sprinkler head. I think it should be noted that, you know, we couldn't tell with any great clarity if that foot was touching any part of that sprinkler head. I assume it was fractions, maybe a couple of inches outside of it.
Yeah.
And you could see players sometimes try to exaggerate, stretch out their stance to try to get relief. I'd be interested to see what he says later on, but I salute him for saying, I'm going to go ahead and play it this way. I want to win and have no one call into question if there was a little wiggle room there to try to get a favorable drop. I'm just going to play it like it is with integrity.
Yeah, his caddy offered it to him and he waved it off pretty quick.
But this stance coming out could be very awkward.
Yeah, that is in the rearview mirror now. He's got some issues with this lie. Tommy Fleetwood, #1 in strokes gained around the green for this season.
It's going to be Nick first.
I'm not sure he's going to be able to play this without keeping his trail foot out of the bunker.
Trev, I'm with you right now. The issues with that, with a lofted wedge in hand, is that tends to shut the face down. And that ball is perched up in the rough.
And the trail foot's going to be in the sand. How's the lie up close?
The lie is decent, Jim. I think contact should not be too big an issue if it was all things remaining the same. But with that right foot lower than the left, and that just throws the cat amongst the pigeons.
Pops it way up in the air. Beautifully judged. He's got a putt coming up from the same angle, but much closer than the one he holed in regulation. He knows what this putt will do.
What a great play.
Look at Fleetwood eyeing it. Thumbs up. Class.
Yeah, that's great sportsmanship. How about Fleetwood's lie?
I think this is much better off than being down in the bunker. With the greens being rather receptive, this is very doable off a severe uphill lie.
Should be able to throw it way up in the air and get it to land soft.
Always just a little uncomfortable when you can't see the putting surface. Oh boy,
it got away from him.
Get
oh my
down.
goodness. It's on the slope and it's going to trickle. I can't believe it's going to stop right there.
Yeah, neither can I. Thought it would come back a couple feet at least.
What happened with that contact, Colt?
Just a lot of grass between the face and the ball, and it came out hot.
Yeah, I jumped on him. Get a closer look here. A little rain starting to fall.
Starting to shower.
Oh, he knows it as soon as he hit it. Look at that. Hit it too good.
Still thought he had a backstop that could make that end result a whole lot better.
He has an idea what this putt is going to do. Remember, in regulation was from a similar angle, obviously much shorter, but he knows it's going to be turning from his right the whole way.
Trevor, he also saw too, like that slope, once again, is not as steep as they think it is. And with the rain coming down, it's not going to be that fast.
Wasting no time.
Coming in from that right side, beautiful putt. He makes it. Tommy Fleetwood.
Talk about clutch.
Trevor, you said it. The putt in regulation was so valuable for him right there.
That was why he could just go ahead and not worry so much about the read. He stepped into it so fast. Gosh, this putt just feels like it's grown by a few feet in length.
Golly, Trev, it leapt back a few feet watching that one go down.
And it's really starting to rain now, Mark.
Really hard right now and straight down.
5-footer to extend. Oh, wow. Just wow. How good is this?
Let's play a few more.
The umbrellas have come out. They're going to go right back and play this same hole again. Tell you the nerve it takes to hold both of those putts. First it was Fleetwood.
We're not talking about catching the edge and going in. These went right in the middle.
Looked like it was at home on a practice putting green.
All business.
Back they go to do it all over again. It sure didn't look like a pair of birdies after those second shots. What's your strategy now if you're heading back to that tee? I think you just go ahead and try to make an identical pass with the same club that you did in the first playoff
They've
hole.
played it a couple times already today, so there's going to be no surprises. The wrinkle now, though, is because the rain has started to fall. Now you just got to be a little careful. Make sure that club face is dry when you go ahead and hit your shot off of the tee.
Trevor, I think for Tommy, he needs to take one more club. He laid way back.
Yeah, but then, do you know what he hit off of the tee? Was it a 3 or a 4 iron? I don't know what his gapping is because he doesn't carry that 3-wood.
Yeah, I believe it was 4 iron, but I mean, he still had a good 40 yards to play with before he ran through. Like you said, I mean, this rain's going to make a difference. The ball is definitely not going to travel as far.
Yeah, Taylor's going with the same club.
Trev, and as I watched Nick Taylor, he was so stoic when that putt went down. I'm sure the emotions were rampant underneath, but he did not blink an eye.
He didn't.
You know, he's hold putts like that all day.
Yeah.
With the weight of the world on his shoulders, stepping up and making that one at 17 on the heels of a bogey at the 70th hole. Resolute.
And singular too, Jim. Almost immune to what's going on around him.
Hit a fade last time around. Straight bounce to stay in the fairway.
Uh-oh. Sitting up.
Now that lie looks okay, at least from that angle. He's trying to figure out where it went.
It's going to be an iron again for Tommy.
Huge opening for him with Nick Taylor missing the fairway.
Setting up for a bit more of a draw.
That's fairway bound.
Yeah, no problems here.
Well, now the question is, what will Nick Taylor be able to do with that lie in the rough? Colt said the ground shook. There were some stunned fans when Fleetwood got up rather quickly. Jammed it in for a 4. But would that bother Nick Taylor? Not at all. Mark Immelman's with Taylor. Can you give us first glance of the lie for Taylor?
The lie is okay. The problem is the ball's above his feet and where the club is likely to come in on approach. And there's a pretty large clump of ryegrass that bluegrass that's really going to hamper the contact. So I feel like he can get plenty on it, but it's always going to be a lottery from down there.
Well, he didn't have a whole lot of room to spare before that penalty area. And Cole, what about Tommy? Is he as far back as he was the last time?
No, he is not. 19 yards closer, 257.
Be precise.
249 covers directly in line, but I would have to think he's looking quite a bit left of it, Trevor.
Yeah, this is a shot that him and Butch Harmon have been working on, trying to peel a little fade. Bigger hip turn on the way back, a little quiet in transition.
And it's dead right again.
Oh, that's way right, headed towards the grandstand.
Yeah, it's into the grandstand.
Okay, we'll have to see where he gets relief.
Orlando Pope, get ready here to help us walk through the relief area. But first, we're going to have Taylor.
He's got 238 total on the ground. You add about 10 for the uphill. That makes it 248. So this should be a pretty comfy number 4 this club. But again, it's all about how that club approaches. Comes into shallow, could get wrapped up by that heavy rough.
Okay, straightens out. Will it get a right kick? That is miles away, but
it did hang up there. If it was a few yards shorter, it could have fed 60 yards back down the hill. At least from there, he's going to have a good look at the surface and a lot of green to work with.
Okay, Orlando, let's talk about the free relief, where this will lead Fleetwood to play his third.
Yeah, thank you, Jim. They're got to try to figure out the yardage to the flag, so they'll estimate it, and then he'll just swing on an equidistant arc on trying to estimate that yardage, and that'll be his reference point down at the bottom. and then you have one club length, he wouldn't drop in, and drop in the second club length.
And with the rain falling now, that rough is just getting thicker and thicker.
That's the problem too. A straight down drop, and it can disappear right to the bottom.
Trail arm stuck underneath, coming down, face hanging open.
There's your line in case you were wondering. I have a golf ball in my hand. Look at a picture of it. Who knew when we showed up today we'd be right in the middle of this historic playoff?
That's right. Oh, we saw two miraculous up and downs in the first playoff hole. Who knows what's coming next?
Well, in both cases, it's going to take a lot to get down in two.
That's it.
Tommy's not really amused at the moment, nor should he be. Stephen Cox will help figure out the line, the drop area. You can have it. Can you pick it up? You've already taken pictures with it.
Exactly. Ian Finnis says to him, you can have it. We don't want it. It didn't behave on the previous shot.
I love the way they try to replace it and then ask, can we pick it up? I understand their excitement. You know, this is the area Tommy will take this drop. It's knee-high drop.
And Trevor, I got to chime in real quick. I'm behind the 18th green here. Adam Hadwin, Mike Weir, Corey Connors are all here. Adam Hadwin just said, I'm more nervous watching this than I was playing today.
Yeah, so cool to see those guys come back.
It shows you how much it means to these guys.
Yeah, Mike Weir mentioned the President's Cup, where he's the captain of the international team. That President's Cup will be in Montreal.
By the way, it looks like Taylor is going to be away. That is going to be a longish shot coming up for Fleetwood.
So now, does he take some of the ridges out and fly it most of the way there, or go with a runner? Looks like he's going to try and fly it.
He has got a lot of loft, Trev, and you saw that rehearsal. Big, wide pass-through contact.
It's going to check up. Woefully short.
Just stays on that back plateau.
Did you like the play? And there are all kinds of options. You could have gotten on the ground sooner. You could have putted it.
Yeah, the thing about putting or going with more of a bump and run is he would have had to aim so far left to run that ridge. So he just tried to take some of that out of it. Don't mind the play.
Fleetwood suddenly has to be heartened by the fact that Taylor's not in there snug.
Yeah, I think that changes his shot a little bit, Jim. I mean, he just cannot afford to come up short, so expect this to be past the hole.
Well, it's from that same side again. That's a good shot.
That's really good from there.
Who would have thought he would have had the shortest birdie putt after those second shots?
It's not exactly the same line he's had the last two times he's been on this green. It's coming from that side, but it's a little bit more toward the front of the green. So the break's not going to be identical, but I would think he'd be a little confident, having had at least some information back from that area.
If Nick Taylor makes this putt, if we take a look at the third here, if Nick Taylor makes this putt, the roar will be so loud. It's gonna be tough for Fleetwood to make it on top of him.
Adam Hadwin. Again from the same town as Nick. He's got a 20-footer here, 20 feet 3 inches.
Trevor, something to bear in mind right now with all the rain that has fallen in the last 15 minutes or so is how much break this one is actually going to take off the left-hand side.
Yeah, and how much slower the putt may be coming back up the hill as well. So got to give it a good hit.
He's got 20 feet. Fleetwood faces an 11-footer.
Make sure you give it a chance.
So a par put up by Taylor. Tommy just battled back all day with those birdies late in the round. And now he's got 11 feet.
And Trevor, a chance for Tommy Fleetwood to be the Stuart Sink of the Canadian Open.
Trying to become the first Englishman to win this tournament since our old running mate Peter Osterhaus in '81. For victory.
I'm glad they put that flag stick back in at the 9th hole.
They're heading to the 159-yard par 3 over there at 9.
Oh, what a scene here on 18 with fans running across the fairway trying to get back there to 9.
Look at this. Everyone taking off to get their chance to see it. I thought Fleetwood was going to make that putt.
I really did too. It was interesting because he started at left of the hole. It actually broke left.
It's a different angle than he had seen the first 2 times. So we're going to playoff hole number 3, and again it's a short par 3 of 159. So just a moment ago, Taylor from 20 feet from the opposite side where he had holed 2 big important putts.
That was always low, that one.
And then Fleetwood from 11 away, never threatened it.
Yeah, total misread.
Here's what they've done at this 9th hole already today. Taylor was in there just 7 feet. Tommy 20 feet.
They're both 1 under for the week on this par 3. They both made a birdie here yesterday. Today playing quite short at 159 and down the hill. Excuse me, up the hill. It's going to be playing 2 or 3 yards back up there.
The singing has resumed. So, Mark, it'll be, again, Nick has the tee first. What's it look like out there to you right now?
It looks electric. Rain is beginning to fall again, Jim, and It's coming almost straight down, so there's no real wind influence. And Trevor, in this sort of match play situation right now, it is definitely an advantage to have the honor if you sting something in there close.
For sure. Watch the false front. You've got about 4 yards behind this hole to a backstop that you can use. A lot of fans have made it over there pretty quick.
Is that too far right?
It's leaking.
Oh, what a bounce. He can putt it from there. That looked dangerously right. And it took one hop out of the heavy stuff.
Jim, he and the fans collectively took a big gasp when that ball hit the ground.
Okay, Colt, now Tommy.
You guys sure hockey's this nation's sport? This place is going nuts out here. Tommy going to give it a full go with a 9-iron from 159 up the hill.
So Justin Rose and Shane Lowry in that mosaic of players. This is a good looking strike.
It's got to go a little.
Oh, wow. Looked like it wanted to take a hop right at the hole, but he too will have a good look at it.
Yeah, you got to think that one of them is going to make it at least. Time to do something special.
It's the first playoff at this event since 2017. It's the first time, in fact, the playoff has gone 3 holes since that 04 VJ Weir playoff won by Vij.
Just thinking, quite cool. You've seen all the Canadian guys hanging back to support their fellow countrymen, and then you see Rosie and Lowry, Ryder Cup teammates, hanging out for their guy.
Well, we have a moment. Amanda, it's all yours.
Well, Jim, exactly. All of a sudden, Team Europe has shown up here for Tommy Fleetwood. Shane Lowry telling me, man, none of us could ignore that huge cheer when Tommy missed that putt. So they're all out here to try to balance it out for him. But everyone is heavily invested behind this 9th green. It feels as big as a Ryder Cup or a major championship. Terrell Hatton came right out and said, man, this feels like the Ryder Cup. It's pretty special.
Or the President's Cup in the case of Nick Taylor and Captain Mike Weir. Tommy takes a peek at it. It doesn't look like there's a whole lot of break on that putt, and he'll learn something off of Taylor going first.
Well, you were right about the putter. He's going to go ahead with that, it looks like. You think they're having any fun?
Hey, Trev.
Yep.
Wouldn't you like to captain an international President's Cup team in this place?
It's going to be a blast next year.
And just to echo what Amanda said, Justin Rose said the exact same thing walking off 18. He said, this feels like a Ryder Cup or a President's Cup. It is incredible out here.
It's going to be very interesting now that he's chosen the putter here, how this ball rolls through that longer cut.
He's only 14 feet away.
Well, as I peeked at it, it's only about 5 inches of that longer cut to go through. But then right in front of it, where he's standing kind of now, I think that is going to be the testament. It's going to need some speed through that area.
He's 14 feet. Fleetwood is just inside 13 feet. Gotta go.
It hopped on him. You see how it bounced there? Coming through the longer grass, that's where it lost all its momentum.
Bounced a couple of times. He'll go ahead and finish. And And for the second consecutive playoff hole, Tommy Fleetwood has a mid-range putt for the victory. This is what you're talking about with the hops.
Right there.
Taking all the speed off of it.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was wondering about. That's why a lot of times players will chip that.
This one right here, Cole, I mean, he doesn't have to concern himself with that. He's just an inch off the putting surface.
No, it is very slow. The tricky thing is the ball's going to be above his feet, but I think the last couple feet, it's actually going to want to move back to his right.
Okay.
Best putter for the week. One putt away from a title. It's pulled. They're going to go back to 18 again.
And Tommy keeps leaving the door open. And both playoff holes, he's missed a putt to the left. Crowd's getting their steps in. They ran from 18 over to 9. Now they're going to run back to 18.
Hatton, Lowry eyeing it. And we'll put him back in the carts again. Send him back to 18T for the 4th playoff hole. I told you it's memorable. We won't forget this one. Matching birdies, matching pars, and matching pars. And we retreat to the 18th one more time. 75 holes into this tournament. And if you're just joining us, Nick Taylor was outside the top 120 after the first round on Thursday when he shot 75. It would take a mighty effort to be able to qualify for the weekend. He came back with 67, and then on Saturday established the course record with this configuration, this composite course, 27 holes here at Oakdale Golf and Country Club. 63, then 66. The 63 matched today by Eric Cole. Lowest round. Think about that. This will be the 4th time they played this hole today. They played it at the end of regulation, already twice in the playoff, and now 3rd time in the playoff.
Time does the sun go down this time of year?
With a low ceiling right now to add to that.
Okay, so no change in strategy. The same club he hit off of the tee every other time.
But what he would love, Trev, is to start that patented fade of his just a hair more to the left-hand side.
Yeah, that last time he played it, not only was in the right rough, it was a little bit close to going long enough to reach the penalty area. He's ready to reset, though. One little rehearsed takeaway, and away we'll go. He's going to like this one. Oh, hold on.
It's peeling a little more, Jim.
It's going to be fine. Oh, look at that. Is that a divot?
Wow, what just happened? It almost rolled backwards again back into.
I think it fell into a divot.
Let's just take a look here.
Oh, it's got to be.
No.
They're pointing a little left. There's a bunker over there. Oh boy, that's big trouble.
Wow, I don't know who has the advantage. Both off the mark here on the 4th playoff hole for the RBC Canadian Open. Fleetwood is in the bunker at the 18th, the 4th playoff hole. And for those just joining us in this what's turned out to be prime time golf, we got Tommy Fleetwood English star who's been a Ryder Cupper. He's never had a win in the United States, though 6 wins over on the Europeans DP World Tour. And several runners up. And then you've got the Nick Taylor story, which is riveting. You've got Canada trying to produce its own homegrown National Open champion for the first time in 69 years. And I'm going to be curious, Mark Immelman, what it looks like that live. We saw it kind of wiggle and fall into a little depression for Taylor.
Jim, if I didn't know any better, I would say there was a pitch mark down there, because it's not a divot, but it certainly is down below the grass surface. And from my vantage point, you can kind of see about half of the top of the golf ball.
Yeah. And Colt, what will Tommy be able to do with this? How much will he try to bite off?
Well, I think he's really going to benefit from this rain we've had. It's really compacted this sand.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. A bit short. It's fine. It's good.
It is sitting really good. He has 255 to the hole, 221 front, but he's got iron out, so it looks like a layup, Trevor.
Yeah, it sure does. It looks like about a 7 or 8 iron.
I thought he could hit his 5-wood and get it over that lip and somewhere around the front of the green.
Last time he laid up, he missed the fairway.
This one up the left needs to go. It'll be fine.
Okay.
Now the question is, how much can Taylor get on this one?
Well, Jim, he's gone back to that utility club. And I'm reminded back on 12, the par 5 in regulation, I used this club to dig the ball out of the heavy rough and kind of scoot one up the fairway onto the putting surface.
Yes, he did. A low chaser that worked out well, gave him an eagle putt, led to a birdie.
This lie is going to tumble. It's tumbling. It's to the left.
Big hop.
Oh, this is going to keep feeding off of the shoulder.
Will stay below the ridge. And that's going to be in the neighborhood of some 60, 70 feet maybe.
Yeah, no, give me 2 putt. It's well played from that lie, though.
It's because of that lie too. You can see how that ball had such a odd flight to it. But they're thrilled here in Toronto. Their man is on the green in 2.
This is so good.
Well, it's 72 feet is what ShotLink says for Taylor. Tommy Fleetwood is going to be 85 yards from the hole, playing his 3rd. Mike Weir, like any Canadian golfer with that kind of talent, how they all dreamt of having a moment like this and how close he came in 2004. To get that win, it's just every time you come to this tournament, it's talked about. When will it happen? Will it happen? Is this that day? It's been generations. And you see the young talent that's coming out of Canada now. I can remember doing this tournament moons ago, and you never really had, other than Mike Weir. You know, Graham Dillette battled injuries, but you thought, where's it going to come from? Now there is a young brigade again through Golf Canada, and they have been grooming some talent.
Absolutely. We've had 3 Canadian players win on tour this season. Kenzie Hughes, Adam Svensson, Corey Connors won at the Valero Texas Open. And I wonder, when we saw Mike Weir there, he was maybe thinking to himself, just how many Canadians will I have on my team next year in Montreal? Who do you think they're rooting for?
This guy's not giving up. 85 yards. He's very liable to knock it in there stiff. And that would put pressure on Taylor. Again, he's 72 feet away.
That's the carry. Come on, Tom.
And Jim, you're exactly right. Great opportunity to put some pressure on him. Back in regulation, hit beautiful lob wedges on 16 and 17 to really close distance. Can throw it a little past and left.
Got to get up just a bit. And this is pretty close to the putt he had the last time we were here. He missed it left.
He knows it doesn't break as much.
That was an 11-footer, pretty much on the same line. I think this will be just outside of it. It's actually going to be 12 feet. It's an additional foot, same line. 12 feet 1 inch.
Going to be difficult for Taylor to figure out the speed here. Massive ridge to deal with. Rain has fallen. Coming back up the hill, it's going to be slow.
And where he's standing right now, Trevor, is sort of the apex of this putt as he looks at it.
This is that putt we mentioned. He's a foot outside of this.
Threw it well outside the hole and just hung out there.
Yeah, this time around, he knows what it's going to do. Meantime, Taylor going to pick up that coin. Not that anybody's superstitious or anything, but for the majority of his career, he's marked his ball with a Canadian $2 coin. Toonie. One putt to win. Okay, 72 feet. I get it. I know what the odds are. 2 putts might win. Now your chance to put pressure on Fleetwood.
Just make sure you catch the sweet spot here. Otherwise, you're going to come up well short.
Left the flag stick in with the maple leaf flag. Good pace. Are you serious? Oh my goodness! Glorious and free. You're storming the 18th green now. They just tackled Adam Hadwin, by the way, who was trying to approach his friend. Security did, not knowing that's exactly who it was.
Wow.
But Canada has a conquering hero. That is not to be believed. 72 feet as you see the FedEx Cup standings. Nick Taylor into the top 10. 72 feet ends 69 years of a drought.
What a scene.
And how about this? It's the longest putt hold by Taylor in his PGA Tour career. Hugs with Dave Markle, his caddy, a player himself, competed in this one time as a Monday qualifier, a Canadian from right here in this province of Ontario. Tommy can only smile. He lost to a miracle putt. Amanda.
Jim, a scene like we have never seen before. Your country has waited 69 years to watch one of its own bring home its National Open. Can you put in perspective what it means to be the one to deliver it to them?
No, I'm speechless. This is for all the guys that are here. This is for my family at home. My wife Andy and our son Charlie and Harper. I'm very speechless. This is the most incredible feeling ever.
You just made the longest putt of your entire career to get it done. Can you just explain what you saw and what was going through your body before the putt and when you watched it go in?
I had a similar line in the second playoff hole. I knew it was going to be slow with how much rain we've had. I wanted to get as close as I can because Tommy, I thought he's going to make it. For that to go in is unbelievable. Yeah, I don't know what to say.
Nick Taylor, turn around, take this all in one more time. This is for you. Congratulations.
That history is being rewritten now here in the country of Canada with their own Nick Taylor in sudden death, winning in one of the more dramatic finishes we have seen on tour. Nearly 73 feet. It goes from the bottom of the green to the top half, and in it goes for an eagle, and that is a walk-off winner for Nick Taylor as he defeats Tommy Fleetwood on the 4th extra hole and picks up win number 3 of his career. These fans soaked it up all week long here, hoping that one of their own would be able to hoist the trophy for the first time since the 1950s. And in the end, it was Nick Taylor. You can listen exclusively to the press conference on PGATour.com and relive the win. This concludes the PGA Tour's final round coverage of the RBC Canadian Open from Oakdale Golf Country Club, Toronto, Ontario.